Maybe not. At some point.
Richard, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm good. Let me see if I can get Quaid on the line. It's about this property that you have locked up. The
Farron.
McMahon Street. Clemens.
Yeah, Farron, 2832 Farron, Mount
Yeah,
Clemens.
Farron, correct. Yeah, let me see if I can get him on the line real quick. 1 second.
Got it. This is a seller finance deal that we have under contract.
Hey, Quaid, I have Richard on the line.
Hey, Richard.
Hey, man, how you doing?
I'm doing well. It's a good day.
Yeah.
So it's a great day. It's a great day. Quaid, can you ask him some questions? Richard, we're trying to figure out on those properties. We believe one of the units is rented, and we're trying to figure out, is it a 1-1 or a 2-1 for both sides, or a 3-1 on one of the sides, because we're getting conflicting information.
I don't really know. I think each side, I don't really know. I want to say that each side, I think it's a 4-2 each side. I'm pretty sure each one's a 4-2.
Yeah, so it looks like a 4. It looks like a 4-2, and it looks like one's a 1-1 and the other one's a 3-1, which would make a 4-2. And I'm assuming the other one's like that. I just don't want to make an assumption.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure each property is a 4-2, but if I go on,
we got to get that, because obviously that's going to affect the performance. Because right now, and I believe you said.
Sorry, go ahead. What were you saying, Yusuf?
Yeah, it's 2-2. Each one is 2 units. Each one is
2-2.
Yeah.
So it's a 4-4.
It's a duplex. Yeah.
4-4. So two beds, 2 baths, 2 beds, 2 baths.
No, each unit is 2-1. No, each unit for the duplex is 2-1. 2 beds, 1 bath.
You can't have a duplex where there's 1 bathroom on each side. Each unit is 2 bed, 1 bath, which means 4 beds, 2 baths for the duplex.
Yeah, each unit. Yeah.
Hey, sorry, I don't know what happened there.
Yeah, we lost. Okay, so sorry, Richard, we're trying to figure out. Did you say one of the units was rented?
Yeah, I think one of them is. I have a breakdown from the agent here, and the garage gets rented as well, which he's insisting that they've continuously had the garage rented for $200, and there's a garage on each property. But we're looking at, he's telling me, I have a little breakdown here. Okay. Rents are $1,200 for the top of 28 Farron and $1,250 for the top of 32. Oh, by the way, one of the units is furnished, which we get in the property. So I guess it just comes furnished. It doesn't have to, but they're going to give us the stuff. And then the bottom 2 units, it said, should be $1,100 each. So I'm being told right now by my partner on this deal that each building is a 4-bed, 2 bath.
Okay. And I'm thinking it's a split as a 3-1, 1-1.
From
what Zillow says.
I just don't know.
Okay. Fair enough.
But I just ordered my own inspection on the property because I'm getting ready to buy this thing if it's a no-go.
Which is fucking, yeah. I mean, it's not that it's a no-go. We're trying to gather that other intel on it so that way we can make it a go-go.
I have a couple buyers asking about it, and I just don't have the answers for them, so I'm just trying to sort that out.
Of course.
So the first one's here, obviously.
So 28 Farron is listed on Zillow right now, and it is a 4-bed, 2 bath with 2,100 square feet.
Yep.
The other one, I believe, is an identical property, 4-bed, 2 bath, 2,100 square feet, and it's the neighbor's house as well.
Okay. All right, I'm just going to go with that. Let me just change the pro forma a little bit, but it sounds like just 1 unit is rented and the garages are not rented at the moment, it sounds like.
Let's see. I'm reading the description right now. It says fully renovated 2 years ago. Rental ready. Okay, here's how it's split up. One of them is a 1-1. One of them is a 3-1.
Yeah.
Rents at the time for the 1-bed were $1,100 and the 3-bed $1,200. So $2,300 on one of these duplexes, and I believe the other property is identical.
And the other one says fully rented.
I think that's old. I think it's old. I don't think that's currently up to date. I think only one of the units is rented, and I think it might be $1,200 or so. The agent's
Okay.
really old, so it's kind of hard to get coherent information out of him.
Fair enough.
Okay. I mean, that's probably the hardest part, most frustrating part about this is because the buyer is like, guys, give me the information. Like, how do you not know this and know that? And I'm like, okay, well, we're working on that part, but obviously we can only work with what we know currently. That being said, Richard, like, I can push the client to buy it, but I just need that information. But if you're going to buy it, well, then obviously.
No, I'd rather wholesale it. I'd rather wholesale it because a big
Yeah.
because I gotta pay the 20 for Tacoma, right? That's got to come from somewhere.
Right. No, for sure. Well, I mean, again, it is the same buyer, but in order for him to buy it, we got to get that information. So we know for sure one unit is rented currently.
I got the other wholesaler with me here. Yusuf, what do you think? You think one unit's rented for 1,200?
Yeah. One unit is rented for 1,200, and the other is rented for, and the other duplex is 1,100. And for 32 Ferren, it's 2 unit. 32 Ferren is 2 unit. Each unit is two beds, 1 bath. And for 28 Ferren, it's a 3 bed, 1 bath unit and 1 bed, 1 bath unit.
And 1 out of the 4 units is rented for, you said $1,200?
No, in 28, the one that is rented for, there is one rented for 1,200, and that 32, there is that one rented for 1,100.
Okay, so sounds like 1 unit in each of the duplexes rented, which is
exactly
good, we can get in for an inspection on both one.
Okay.
And I'm happy to
So
share
basically-
my inspection with you because I've already bought my inspection, so I'm happy to share it with you. It'll be an independent inspector. It's not my contractor.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, let me change up this pro forma. Let me send it over to our buyer, call him real quick, get some answers to him and chat it out. And then we can give you a call back answer.
Yeah, let me know today because EMD was due yesterday and I'm about to front it. It's no problem if I have to front it. Just let me know sooner than later on this thing because it's just,
okay.
It's too good to let go.
You'll have an answer today. Quay, was there anything else we need to know on this deal before we let him go and we get on the phone with our client? Are the garages currently being rented to anybody, or was in the past?
The garages are not currently rented, but apparently there's some big golf tournament here every single year, and people do long-term, like 3-month stays in the garages for $200 per month. And I don't know why that's the case. Obviously, that's a little bit of an interesting thing, but the agent insisted that that was the case. So you can squeeze another $200 out of both of the properties in the garages.
Okay.
Note that one of the units is furnished, which may increase your rent as well.
Gosh, and is that one of the ones that's currently rented or a vacant one? Do you know?
I think it might be the vacant one, but I'm not really sure about that.
Okay. All right. And then the EMD is how much on this one?
That's a good question. It's a couple thousand. I'm not really sure.
Okay. Just a couple. That's good enough. Okay.
It's not more than like 3. It wouldn't be more than 3. It's probably like 2 or something like that.
Okay, that works.
Yeah.
That works. Okay, cool. Let me whip this up, get it sent over, talk to the buyer, and then I will get you answers as quick as possible.
Great. Thank you so much, Quaid. I appreciate it. Thanks, Joseph, too.
No, you're welcome.
Thank you, Jared.
Bye-bye. That's for an $18,000 assignment fee on the Farron package. But Yusuf, I'm getting it inspected too because if my buyers don't pick it up, I'm picking it up and I will pay your assignment fee.
Got you. I'm really sorry, Richard. The issue is that Andrew is not talking to me.
Don't worry about it.
I'm really confused. Yeah, he didn't tell me what is the current property occupied. He sent that to you, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, he's really hard to get. Like I told him, hey, can you send me pictures for 32 Ferren? He's not answering.
That's okay. That's okay. No problem. That's totally fine. I'm not too concerned about it. I know it will go through either way. We just have to get these things inspected and make sure everything's okay. But they said that they've recently updated it. So guys, this is great. I mean, this is one of the better deals that we've had recently. We're looking at $520,000. We have a down payment of $52,000.
$52,000.
Payments of $2K per month on $500,000, which is amazing. And there's no interest. There's no interest at all. So you pay down an exorbitant amount of money extremely quickly. And this is so good that my company will be completing the purchase if we cannot find a buyer. So his assignment fee is locked in regardless. Like I will buy this no matter what, I will buy this. So it doesn't really matter if my buyers don't perform. However, I'd love to get an $18,000 assignment fee out of this. $18,000 is it's good money, man. That's really good money. That would stack. That would mean Yusuf have any of your deals fallen through? Is everything still good?
Oh, the Roselle looks like the Roselle one had fire damage.
Oh,
But yeah, I guess they are moving forward. But the good news is you remember the two beds, one bed that I just sent you yesterday?
yeah.
Yeah, he's going to lock this up for 62,500 and I get it for 55,000. So it's a 7,500.
Dude, that's insane. That's insane. I saw that and I was like, well,
Yeah.
maybe it's worth your shot. It's worth a shot. The rent is definitely there. So it, makes sense.
Yeah, it's currently rented. Yeah, so awesome. Even though for the students here, like he's locking things up for two. He's locking like two beds, one bath, too, if it's currently rented with good rent. So
This guy
yeah.
says our deal is close to falling through. Royal Foundations, I don't know what our deal is. What's your deal, Royal Foundations?
It's me, Rich King. 8224 Crestview Drive, Houston, Texas. The multifamily, the 6-bed, 4-bath. Look at the DMs from me to you.
I remember. It's complicated. There's a big line of communication. Honestly, man, you should keep that assignment fee. Here's what I would do. Get a JV with your partner, send it to my team. No need to include me in this whatsoever.
Oh, because the contract holder, she's kind of just like, because we brought this to you the 3rd of this month, actually. It was apparently it seems a bit tough. So I'm gonna sign a joint venture with her, and I assume I'll send an assignment of contract to you then.
No. This is a daisy chain, and I don't really want to participate in daisy chains. I'm happy to sell it for you if you're the joint venture partner, but I don't want to joint venture with the joint venture with the joint venture partner. The line of communication is honestly just too much. It's kind of a bad look for investors and wholesale as a whole. So, really easy game.
Yeah, because we had you in direct joint venture with the contract holder.
What I would do is I would sign a joint venture agreement. So this is all we've needed to do all along is sign a JV with the contract holder, type #submit. That's it.
Yeah, we've already had one submitted between you and the contract holder. That was the thing.
I remember we were getting close to it, but then I kind of got off put by the amount of line of communication there were. I understand that we were working directly with her. It just didn't seem real, if I'm being honest. And I hope it is real. It's just like, well, my friend has a contract here, but I never really spoke to her. And I'm like, I don't know what this is. If I'm doing a deal, I either want to work with the contract holder or directly with the seller. What I think you should do, since you're also involved in this, is just cut me out and go ahead and sign a joint venture agreement. And then you can submit that to my team with the direct wholesaler in contact.
Okay. Here's the only caveat in this situation, though. We're like a few days up. So she was honestly going to submit a joint venture with somebody else to see if their buyer would put in an EMD like same day or tomorrow. Other than that, she was going to just outright drop the contract.
All right. Well, totally up to you, man. All I would do is sign a joint venture and then submit it to my team or post it on Facebook or send it to your buyers. The situation doesn't make sense to me. I've never seen a contract active for over a month before. So I don't know what's going on with it, but it seems like you could submit a joint venture to my team. Anyways, I got to move on, man. I got some calls to do.
No problem.
Talk soon. Bye-bye. Okay. This guy says our loans and debt are not assumable. Easy response to that. I'm going to just say neither were any of these. Okay. Okay. Please, can I start, please? Yeah, you're welcome to join the Discord, man. You're welcome to join the Discord. What do we wanna work on today, guys? We can do deal review, we can demonstrate how to get these properties under contract, but we did a lot of calls yesterday and got some yeses yesterday. Got a contract signed yesterday. Um, this person says, "Hey, I'm a new wholesaler. I'm looking for cash buyers to put on my list. Wondering if I could." Yeah, you can add me to your list. I buy with technically I am a cash buyer when I use private money. I worry that if I purchase a house and I can't get someone to buy the house and I wouldn't have to pay for it out of pocket. So how do you purchase a house and then have to pay for the house out of pocket? Don't you do the purchasing up front? Can you do more TAA info? Sure. I've got one under contract now. You're wholesaling. You're the deal finder. If you can't account with dated activity, so POF is current, it is really old. It's like a whole 6 days old if I'm being real. I'll give you a new proof of funds. I'll go ahead and give you guys some updated proof of funds really quickly. Just a second. Bear with me. Get a text. Hold on, I gotta log in. Okay, this has February 24th's date on it, so you can use this as POF. Hashtag POF. Oh, well, gotta re-screenshot that. So POF, proof of funds, and then we'll go ahead and drop a new one in here. Okay, so people want to talk more about trust acquisition agreements. I have closed a number of those as of late, so I'll talk about that, guys. POF has been updated for you. Updated, there's 240 or so in there. And yeah, you should be good to go. So I'll run over what trust acquisition agreements are and why we do them right now. So let's jump into it. But first, we're going to tell this guy. We also have a awesome mortgage takeover call to do after this. So I have a guy who's got a portfolio in Cleveland, and we're going to be talking about his taking over the debt on his properties as well. But let's break it down first. So I have 2 trust acquisition agreements right now, and I just closed another one. So I'll show you 3. I'll explain the numbers behind them, why they work or why they have worked in the past. And let's jump into it right now. Okay. So starting off strong, we're going to look at this trust acquisition agreement right here. So this is my most recent one. This thing closes in about a week. Is my screen shared okay? Hopefully so. This is a 3-bed, 1-bath property. It's located in Detroit, Michigan. And we're taking over the debt. It's not an assumable mortgage. You can't assume this loan. It is not an assumable loan. It is a DSCR loan. It is an investment loan. And it's important to note that there's no possibility of assuming this loan. That's not how this works. Rather, we put the house into a trust and we sold the trust. Now, that's not actually what you're doing. You're just signing a contract with somebody. So as far as setting up the trust and all of that stuff, that's something that my team handles. You guys don't need to do that at all. All you're doing with this method is saying, hey, can I take over your debt? That's it. There's very little action required beyond pitching it. So we'll sell the deal for you. We'll even do the contract for you if you want to use Buy Box Cartel, and you're not paying for the trust either. So that's the reason why. That's the reason why a lot of people aren't doing this, because the language surrounding it is really scary. I understand that you think you need to buy the trust, spend money, all of it. That's not what's happening. Let me explain this in like toddler terms. You could take over somebody's debt. You could just take over the payments. You could just take over the payments. You're not the person taking over the payments, though. You're the person finding the deal for somebody else. So if I'm like, hey, I'm looking for a 3% interest rate. If you find me a house that has a 3% interest rate on it, I'll go ahead and give you $10,000. It's kind of like that, right? So this guy right here, the property on my screen, it's a house in Detroit. You can see how it's worth about $87,000. They've got a mortgage on it of about $61,000. People are saying Discord can't see screen. Uh-oh. Let me try that again. How about now? Does that change anything, or is it still cooked? You guys can see? Okay. So don't worry about setting up for the trust. Don't worry about paying for the trust. The only thing that you need to worry about is being able to find these opportunities. That's literally all you need to worry about. So we got a house. It's worth about $85,000. They've got a mortgage on it of $61,000. The thing is, it's probably going to sell for $70K. So, you list your house for $85K. Do you get $85K in this market? No, not really. Not really. You're probably going to get somebody who negotiates with you. So if you list for 85, maybe you get 70. And then your realtor takes another 5K, right? So you're not really going to make too much money if you're listed for 85 and you owe 61, given that offers will probably come in at 70,000. So what we've done here is we called up the owner and I said, hey, man, I could make you an offer at probably 70,000. And he said, no, I don't think that's going to make sense for me, which is literally exactly what happened. And I said, okay, why don't we just take over your mortgage? Why don't we just offer to take over the debt that you have on the property? And we'll go ahead and give you $12,000. And that's where I lose all my viewers, because you guys are like, oh, you need 12K. You left out the part where you need 12K. No. I'm going to say this one more time. Let's say mom and dad are looking to buy a house for $300K. Okay. Mom and dad are looking to buy a house for $300,000. Maybe there's 100 of those houses for sale in the city that they're looking to buy. You go to them and you say, hey, I'm going to call all the houses for $300K in the area until somebody sells for $250. And then you find one that's going to sell for $250 and you tell them about it. You say, hey, mom, dad, this guy's willing to sell for $250. Weren't you going to pay $300 for one of these? And they say, yeah, you just saved me $50K. Would it make sense for them to give you maybe $5K? Maybe $10K as a finder's fee? That's all you're doing. So all the concern about what if I can't find a buyer for the house, you're not the buyer. Are you going to get stuck holding the bag? You're not the buyer. You were never the buyer. You're simply the deal finder. So always visualize that example for my new wholesalers. This is wholesaling in its simplest form. You overhear your mom and dad one night having a conversation. They're going to buy a house for $300K. They're going to buy it in San Antonio. You go on Zillow and you're like, oh my God, there's like 500 houses for $300K here. You call them until one of them says yes to $250. And then you tell your parents about it. Just a sec. They give you a finder's fee. That's it. Anyways, there's a number of ways to get finder's fees. You can either get a discount on the property or you can get a discount on the terms of a property. Now, what are the terms? Your parents were going to get a mortgage on the house, right? They're not just going to buy the house in cash. No way they just happen to have $300,000 in cash laying around. They get a mortgage on it. Now, investment loans, they usually require like a 20% down payment at 7% interest. So the whole point of this is to get it for a lower down payment, right? It's also convenient. It's also a convenience thing to get it for a lower down payment. I don't mean lower down payment. I mean a convenience thing to get it via this method of sale. When you're doing a trust acquisition agreement, you don't have to jump through the hoops of getting your own loan. You're taking over somebody else's loan. That means it doesn't go on your debt to income ratio. It doesn't go on your credit score. You're simply taking over somebody else's loan. So here's how the phone call goes. Hey there, Mr. Seller. I see you're looking for 85K. What about 70K? Oh man, you're not going to make any money if you take 70K because of your mortgage? Okay, what if we gave you, I don't know, 10K to take over your debt? Because you weren't going to make 10K at my offer anyways, though, right? Great. Let me send you a contract. So when somebody's not going to make very much money on the house, we offer to take over their debt on the property. Now, how do we know if it's a good example? It's usually a cash flow thing. Nowadays, it's mostly about cash flow, not always about cash flow. Sometimes it's about the interest rate. And what I mean by cash flow is the difference between the mortgage payments. His mortgage rate here is like $500, but with taxes and insurance, $633. And a difference between what it rents out for. Now, this guy has a tenant in place for $1,250. So he's got a tenant paying $1,250 per month. He's got payments of $633. I offered this individual $12K to take over his debt on the property. He says yes. I sent it to one of my buyers. He picked it up for a $5K finder's fee. So if it's like, did I have to set up the trust? Did I have to submit earnest money? Did I have to do the title work? Did I have to do any of that? No, not at all. Not at all. I simply made the offer. Now, what would you do if you got this offer accepted? What I would do if I got this offer accepted is I would go to buyboxcartel.com. I would log into my account. I'll go ahead and just share my screen on this, guys. I would log into my account. I'd go to the control panel and I'd put in the address. So this is the wholesaler side of buyboxcartel.com. So I'd put this address in. I'd search it up. It's off market, so it doesn't have any photos, but don't worry about that. I'd say, what type of offer are you looking for? Well, we're doing a creative finance offer. Is there a mortgage? Yeah. And then fill out the information here. So initial loan amount, let's say he initially got it for $70,000. What do they owe on the property? He owes $61,000. None of this is really that strict. You just estimate it, guys. Estimate it based off of what you see on PropStream right here or Lightning Leads. The interest rate, it's 7.75%. It's terrible. The rent on the property, it's rented for $1,250 per month. So you put in your information here, right? Click continue, and then just click this button, generate contract. It puts the offer into a contract. Check it out. So it literally just does it for you. You click yes to the disclosures, and then you go through these. So the first one says, what's the purchase price? $67,000. Oh, but my purchase price wasn't $67. It's actually $74 because he owes $12,000. Well, change it then. That's why I said it doesn't really matter what you put in that first field. $74,000. How much is your earnest money deposit? It literally doesn't matter. Want to do $500? Fine. Want to do $2,000? Fine. Don't do more than probably $2,000. Probably. I mean, I suppose if it's a really expensive one, you could, but generally speaking, we deal with really cheap properties. So I probably would put $1,500. That's going to be totally fine. Or $1,600. Doesn't really matter. What's their loan balance? It already has it plugged in for you. And you just go through the steps. And this lets us know everything that we would need to fill out the contract for you and sign it for you. And then we sign it for you. So if you're worried about what happens if my name's on the contract and I can't find a buyer, don't worry. We'll sign it for you. We'll sign it for you. We'll do the contract for you through this website. We'll sell it for you through this website. You'll keep the majority of the profit. We'll take all the risk. Makes sense, right? And then on these live streams, I just demonstrate how to do it. So I guess we'll bring some people up for questions about this. We had a guy who says, can you talk more about the trust acquisition agreement? Where'd he go? I think he was Cool Guy. Was it you, Cool Guy? Were you the guy who had more questions? Yeah. You were the one who had more questions. I was largely responding to your question here. So I wanted to bring you up and see, because I was kind of all over the place there. I've got 3 that I'm working on right now. I'm happy to break them down, or ones that we've done in the past.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I appreciate it. Secondly, yeah, I definitely want to get good at this one because I have had the most question marks surrounding this type of deal. Um, so I really just want to get good at like understanding all the numbers, why, you know, like you were kind of going, like explaining, why some deals do and don't work, with interest rates. Um, in particular, like why you go for some properties that are under a certain amount of money or listed for a certain amount, given their interest rate.
Sure.
Just really all the inner workings of why a deal would work
Sure,
for
sure,
this.
sure.
In
Where
particular.
are you from right now? Where are you calling out of?
Like Virginia, DC,
Expensive.
like
miles.
Alexandria.
You could do it over there, and I have done it over there, but it's honestly so much easier when you do it in a cheaper area. What's a nice cheap market around you? Do you know?
But cheap around here is hard to come by.
That's true.
Unfortunately.
I think a nice one isn't there one in North Carolina? That's not tremendously far. It's kind of far, but Raleigh. I think
It's not too far. Richmond is not incredibly expensive if I'm not mistaken.
Let's do Minneapolis. It's not very close.
That's like halfway between me.
We'll do Minneapolis.
Yeah.
I don't think or honestly, Milwaukee. I like Milwaukee a lot. Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Okay.
So I'm going to do Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and then let's put in some filters here to find the deals that we're looking for. We got two ways to search for it. We could either search on PropStream or we could search on Lightning Leads. I use both interchangeably, but let's put in some filters. I'm going to do a 40% equity filter. I'm going to do a maximum listing amount of something cheap, maybe 125,000. And I'm noticing that there's just not too many here in that price range. So let's get rid of single family and just kind of look at everything. And then valuation and equity. Why is it saying there's not too many here? I would imagine there's more. I do see a good one right there.
Quick question. Is it beneficial to try to do like a trust acquisition deal, but for like a multifamily property, or is it just strictly like
it's the most desirable? It's the most desirable. It's single family or multifamily, but multifamily preferred. Either or.
Okay.
But this thing caught my eye right here. Do you know why this one caught my eye? It has to do with this.
Because of what it's listed for and how much they owe.
Exactly. That's exactly why it's caught my eye. So I want to see and then look when it was last sold. You see the last sale? That lets us know that the interest rate is going to be in the 3 to 4 range, maybe even the 2 to 3 range. So let's see what that rate is looking like. The rate, I'm going to guess that the rate is 3.3. Okay, it says 6.3, but that's not accurate because 4 years and 9 months ago, interest rates were in the 2 and 3% range. So that's probably a glitch that we're seeing there. But let's see if the house is still for sale. A lot of the time, these things go off market on PropStream. That's one of the fatal flaws of PropStream. A lot of them are no longer available. So I always like to check to see if they're available. Let's close some of these tabs that we have here. Don't need any of you guys. Close. Let's see if it's probably not available, I would imagine. Yeah, so it says not for sale anymore, so that's not a great one. We're kind of in an interesting market of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Let's see if there's anything here still. Milwaukee, 714 days. None of those are going to be for sale at 714 days on market, and this one's way, way, way too expensive here. So I'm going to go to another cheap market. I like Milwaukee, and I think there's more examples here. Maybe if I try to do this on Buy Box Cartel, because I'm not sold that that's all the examples. I'm pretty sure there's going to be more examples. So I'll go to Lightning Leads and let's try on a different platform here. Milwaukee.
Is there any particular reason why you like Milwaukee?
No, it's cheap. It's cheap, man. I like cheap. So if I did if I look for a list of cheapest cities USA, these are my markets. These are going to be the areas that are the cheapest in the entire United States, and these are the areas that I really like. So all of these, amazing, super, super great areas to look. Cheap means cash flow. Now I don't believe that there's not that many in Milwaukee. I feel like there's got to be more in Milwaukee. So let's do price, low to high, and let's search for Milwaukee. Okay, so now it's showing me some more examples in Milwaukee. Yeah, that's what I thought. So Lightning Leads just beat PropStream for examples in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So that's something interesting to consider.
Get my money.
I'm looking at 55 to 42. Now, here's what I think about this one. So this is a no-go, instantly not looking at it. Do you know why?
Honestly, I could make a random guess, but it probably wouldn't be right.
Take a guess, man. What would be the chat might help you out. Chat, why is this an instant no-go for me?
Is it because they have too much equity in it?
No,
based
not
off
at
the
all.
interest rate?
Not at all. Not the interest rate, not the equity. More so the price point. What does a 55K house tell you? This is a hint. See that
Needs some repairs.
Yeah, it's probably cooked. It's probably cooked.
Okay.
A $55,000 house probably has a lot of, yeah, okay, yeah, you can see it. Check it out. Yeah.
Okay.
So a 55K house probably has a lot of issues. You're like, I just don't, it's probably in a war zone. It's probably beat up, needing lots of work, more than we can probably see here. So the 55K instantaneously no go, guys. That's a fix and flip. I flip houses like that. I'm not going to be looking at that for a mortgage takeover. This guy is really looking good, but there's a couple concerns to note. Equity this time, 31% equity. We could probably give this guy as much as 12K down, maybe 13K down. The reason but it's also a 2-1, so maybe not 12 or 13K down. So my thought process on this one is equity and undesirable type of property. This could be a deal, but I feel like there's better ones out there. And guys, isn't it interesting that PropStream just straight up lied to us? It literally just lied to us. I go on Lightning Leads, opportunities everywhere, and this is pulling from Zillow's API. All of these are available right now. So check this out, guys. 3 beds, 1 bath. This is probably the best one. Any idea why I really like this one?
Well, one, it seems to be in better condition, I'd say.
That's the first thing. Yeah.
And then secondly, it seems that the balance is close to what they're listing it for.
Ooh, very interesting. Looks like we have animals in a shared living space with humans here. That's fun. So maybe some not ideal tenants, but let's look at the property on Zillow. All right, 105,000. Now this, you probably get a yes on this because ain't nobody want this house. This is disgusting. Like they literally have animals living where the humans are living. Yikes. What is this structure too? That is fascinating. This is just a weird. So this house is probably a box of worms. This thing is just barely in livable condition. Super scary property. But apart from that, this would be the candidate if it weren't so disgusting. They owe 90. They're asking 105. Ain't never, ever, ever going to get a buyer at 105,000. Not going to happen. Probably need it closer to half of that price. We could essentially offer to pay the realtor commission and have them walk away. Realtor's going to make 3K. So we get this house for 3K down. Now, I don't think my buyers would love this thing, man. It's a condition thing. That's really what it comes down to. Not about the rate, not about the equity. It's about the condition. So we keep scrolling. Okay, what do we have here? Next house. Looking better in condition this time, looking more reasonable. The only problem is 2 bed, 1 bath with equity. He's expecting $35,000. He's only been there for 26 days. We can't do 35. We can't give him 35K. We probably give him like 7K. And the reason only 7, guys, is because not very much cash flow. And, it's a 2 bed, 1 bath. People don't really love 2 bed, 1 baths. So I keep looking until I find something I really like. As soon as I see that red, like that negative cash flow, I'm like, oh, well, there it goes. And you can honestly see that as soon as the price goes above 135,000, now we're not cash flowing anymore. Now it's negative cash flow, which gives you an idea, or $51 cash flow, which gives you an idea as to why we don't really like to do expensive properties. They just don't cash flow. So that probably exhausts everything that I would focus on in Milwaukee, unless I can find a really low interest rate. If I can find a 2 or 3% interest rate on something and it's a more expensive property, that's okay. We will have a buyer for that. So if you got a good looking property with a 2% interest rate, great. But you're starting to notice that because 2% interest rates were so long ago, like almost 5 years ago, they have equity now. This guy has $100,000 in equity in this house. So accessing his 2% interest rate for 10% down, unlikely. We had to pivot to cheap markets so that 6 and 7 and 8% interest rates were still desirable. So what's another cheap city? El Paso, perhaps? El Paso, Texas. And let's go ahead and do price low to high this time, and we'll search again. So it didn't load that time. Let's try that one more time. Mortgage takeover, El Paso, Texas. There we are. What do I think about this one? 2 bed, 1 bath, right? Not interesting.
It's probably, yeah.
What do I think about this one? No cash flow. Good. They give us the house for free, but no cash flow. You see, El Paso's a really cheap market, but it's above that 135K price range. So guys, I'm a massive fan of cheap markets. These are the last places in the United States that cash flow. The last places in the United States that cash flow. This is going to go away at some point, guys. So get rich while you can off these cheap houses, because cheap houses will not always be available. Let's try another really cheap city. I'm trying to Sorry, say that again.
I was just making a joke. I was saying, shoot, I'm trying.
What's another cheap city? I think another cheap city is Jacksonville, Florida. And there's a lot of houses in Jacksonville, so we should be able to find a ton of good opportunities here. I haven't looked at any of my good cities yet. So every good city, I have completely passed them up. Where would I look if I wanted to find something like instantly? Detroit, Cleveland. I would look all over those areas. Detroit, Cleveland, Akron, Dayton. Those are really good areas. But I'm also trying to illustrate that you can do this like literally anywhere. You can do this literally anywhere.
Yeah.
So looking at something like this, I mean, they'd give us the house. They'd 100% give us the house. $104,000 is their list price. $103,000 is their balance. Cash flow is a little tight here. Cash flow is slightly tight here. I'm looking for this number to be closer to 300. So let's see what we can find in Jacksonville. 94 cash flow, 164 cash flow, negative cash flow, 165, 250. Not bad at all right there. That's not bad right there. Let's see our condition. Ooh, beautiful. So I really like that one. I feel like we can do slightly better though. These things are really abundant. I'm sure we can find something. And then price point starts to get a little bit higher here. Cash flow starts to diminish. Let's see if there's maybe any other lingering opportunities as we keep scrolling. Ooh, that's a really hot opportunity right there. Look at that. $340 of cash flow, 3% interest rate. That's what I'm talking about, man. Wow. And nobody wants it because it's been here for almost a year. So we are their last resort. We are their last resort here. Property looks to be in fine condition. They're asking 146, but are they getting 146? No, they would have gotten it already. It's been a year on market. And then we're looking at a monthly payment of $724. Let's check out our rent. I'm pretty sure it says the rent right there, but let's check it out. PropStream really fell.
And out of curiosity, what would you say if, let's say, this buyer was like, "Oh, we're just looking to do a more traditional route"?
I'd say, yeah.
Can you try like?
I say absolutely. Let's go ahead and do a traditional deal. I could probably give you 117 on this.
Mm.
And then they say, I can't take that. And I'm like, well, you've been here for a year. What do you mean you can't take it? And then they say, I got a mortgage. And I'm like, okay, so why don't you hold on to the property? And they say, well, I need to sell the property. And I'm like, okay, 117. I can't take 117. I'm like, okay, how about you let me take over your debt? I don't want to take over your debt. Okay, how about 117? I don't want 117. How about you hold it? I need to sell the property. And we just go in circles until they realize that's their only option. I offer them the number that everybody else has offered them. So their offers over and over and over and over again have probably been like 80, 90, 105, 110, 120. I always say I'm happy to pay what everybody else has been offering you. Have you guys gotten an offer that's made sense in the past year? And yeah, it's, I would say you probably have to call 15, 20 of these people before somebody says yes. And your approach is super important. So we can work on the approach next. I want to see if I can find the perfect opportunity, because while I like this opportunity, it does get even better than this. But honestly, that's really good. But do we have anything else that might be slightly better? I will look in my favorite market right now, Detroit, for one of these, because Detroit, they are so abundant. Cleveland, they are so abundant. Like, these things are everywhere. You see the first one I looked at? It's a much nicer house, right? Than anything we've looked at. Much nicer than anything we've looked at. The price is cheaper than anything we've looked at. The cash flow is high despite the high interest rate. So that's an immediate win. First one I saw is a win. Look at this one. I mean, that's a decent looking house. It's not a nice looking house, but that would suffice. We can do this. And then looking at their deal, they pay $700. The rent is $1,600. Perfect, right? So I probably called two of these people. Guys, I'll call a couple of them right now and they'll yell at me. But I like to, when I'm calling on these guys, if you call in Detroit, you're probably going to get yelled at in Detroit. I like to do this in more niche areas. So I like to try to find myself a really cheap city that people aren't really thinking about. Omaha, Nebraska. So I see people having success with this when they do it in kind of more niche areas that are not like super obvious to do this. Immediately looking at Omaha, I can see that the prices are slightly too high for cash flow. A little bit too high for cash flow here. You'll see that almost all of these are going to be in the red. Looks like this one's not in the red, so that would be really nice. That could be pretty awesome. So they're asking 205. It's been there for 2.5 months or so, 2 months and 10 days, and they owe 148. We've got to convince them to take maybe 15K down. So we'd have to convince them to take about 165,000 down from 205, which is not impossible. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world, but that would be a really good one right there. Let's check it out. Maybe they price dropped a little. Yeah, they did a little bit of a price drop. 42 days ago since their last price drop. House is looking great. Looks like it's a fix and flip, guys. Looks like they flipped this house, or somebody flipped this house at some point. So I could call this guy, but I'd love to call somebody who really needs this offer. So like this guy really needs this offer. He's listed for 210. He owes 204. He really needs that offer. But at the same time, I don't want to put my objections in the head of the seller. Let's just give this guy a call and see what we can talk to him about. Give him a call. Maybe I just go straight into it without my pitch just to see if she yells. I wonder if I can get her to yell.
You've reached Dee Oliver with PJ Morgan. Please leave me a detailed message, including your name and phone number.
She does sound like she might want to yell, but we didn't get a hold of her. Let's try another one. Maybe another cheap little city here. Memphis is great. Indianapolis is great. Canton, Ohio. I love Canton, Ohio. Canton, Ohio, or Columbus, Georgia. Columbus, Georgia is great. Do we have a nice cheap one in Canton? Oh no, you're all so expensive in Canton. And when I say expensive, guys, obviously it's really cheap, but it gets a lot cheaper than this. So we also said Cleveland's quite saturated. Akron, not very many listings. Dayton, not very many listings. What did I say before that? Columbus, Georgia. Columbus, Georgia is a nice little military town. And prices starting a little higher than I expected here. I know there's cheaper houses in Columbus, Georgia. I thought it would start a little bit cheaper than that. There's also Macon, Georgia. Macon, Georgia is another really cheap market. Nice. Okay, cheap prices in Macon. Looking for cash flow. No cash flow. Looks like we have, oh, well, that one, good cash flow, but you can see that the balance to list price is kind of off right there. All right, maybe we try, maybe I'd do that one in Jacksonville again. There was a really nice one in Jacksonville. This is the one in Jacksonville that was really nice looking. They've been here for a year, and I think my hesitancy on this one is people have called and butchered this pitch before. So let's just see what happens.
Hi, if you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
Buyer for your listing in Jacksonville.
Thanks. Please stay on the line.
My seller is not interested. Everybody has this on their phone nowadays. This was not the case a couple months ago. I don't know what the hell this thing is. This thing must be getting popular.
I'm sorry, this person is not available. If you would.
Oh, somebody talk to me. Pueblo, Colorado is really cheap too. Pueblo, Colorado. Can we find a little cheap one in Pueblo? Oh, when I say cheap, I guess it's not as cheap as I thought. It's $200,000 cheap. I thought it was even cheaper than that. All right, we'll do Memphis. Memphis is heat, guys. You just have so much in Memphis. Like house after house after house after house after house in Memphis. What can I find that looks good? 26 cash flow, low cash flow, low cash flow. That's not bad, but it's a 2-bed. Don't like 2 beds. We're looking at low cash flow, low cash flow, low cash flow, high cash flow, 2-bed, 1-bath, high cash flow. Why is your rent $1,500? I don't believe that the rent is $1,500 there. Hey, that looks nice. Look at that. I like that one. 223 days on market too. Oh, they're not going to like me calling. Let's do it anyways. Whenever I see something, this person's name is Chinna P. Prude. Chinna P. Prude Anderson. That's an interesting name. The reason I'm nervous about this, guys, is because they're going to freak out. Like when I call a listing that's been there for about 223 days, the agents are very difficult on listings like this. However, what I'm going to say is, hey, I own your neighbor's house via the exact same method of sale. The only difference is it's about 4 times more expensive. And honestly, the previous seller is willing to call your client and tell you that it was a great decision for them. So they don't really have an objection to that after I tell them that a much more expensive seller in the same market was down to do the deal. However, they haven't really left us a phone number to call. Do you have any other good ones here? Somebody with a phone number for me? All right, we'll search up their name. Let's see if we can find this person's name. Chinna P. Prude Anderson is their name. Oh, maybe is it China? Phonetically, 2 N's would be Chinna, but maybe it's China. Should I call her China? Probably. That's probably what it is. We'll give her a call. Here it goes.
Hi, this is China. Sorry, I'm not available to receive your call. But if you would leave,
it's not even that late, man. I just can't get a hold of any of these people. But yeah, I would. So I guess I only have hesitancy if it's been on market for a while. I love these things to be on market for 5 days because other people haven't done a really bad pitch at them. Like it's rough when it's been there for 200 days because at some point in time somebody has called and said some stupid shit to them. However, if it's only been there for 30 days, you may be the first person to ever call on this. So I really like it when these properties are not like a tremendous amount of time on the market. However, they could have just reached their breaking point. Like they might be at their breaking point. This guy says 400 days on Zillow. Oh my God. Okay, so he might be at his breaking point. I mean, he initially listed this thing for sale in March of last year. This guy's been on market for ages. So somebody's called them, but honestly, the house looks to be in okay enough condition to do this on. It doesn't really look bad. I think you need to do a little bit of refinishing on the floors right here. That's not terrible though. Lay down a carpet, you're going to be fine. It says 39 days on market, but if you look at the listing history, it's been there a lot longer. And they've got a mortgage on the property sitting at $86,000. So I would probably offer this guy maybe $10K to take over the debt because he's got maybe $12K to take over the debt. My only concern is it might need a little bit of rehab on it, but that would be my game plan, guys. The ones that I have sold recently and have under contract, I got this one in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, which I think is an awesome market. Cedar Rapids, Iowa, it was a quadplex, I want to say, with a high interest rate. Quadplex, high interest rate. I gave this guy something like $15K to take over his debt. That thing sold, but not for very much because you had a high interest rate and very little cash flow. I think I got $3,000 out of that one. And then the one I locked up most recently is going to be this one. I locked this up yesterday. This is one of the best ones I've had in a while. This guy has a 3.5% interest rate. I got him for $5,000 down. He has a payment of $1,100 per month. And the house will rent out on Section 8 for $1,700 and $1,400 on normal rent, $1,450 on normal rent. The house is in fully renovated condition. And then beyond that, you only owe $160 and the house is worth closer to $200,000. So you're looking at some really substantial equity in this thing. And then the last one that I have in closing right now is my one on Lappin. This is that one where the tenants are in place. Let's see. Tenants are in place on this property. It's got a 7.5% interest rate, and it is not a 2-1. That's incorrect. It is actually a 3-bed, 1-bath. And we sold that one for $5,000. And I think one of the significant things about this is it's $17K down to the buyer, which is literally more than 20%. They entered for more than 20%. The reason the buyer wanted to do this is because it's somebody else's debt. He's just taking over somebody else's debt. It's much, much, much more convenient. But anyways, I guess I just wanted to see if there's any other questions that I can help you out with on this process. Yeah, Paul, I'm working with all these people right here. All these people on my live stream right now. I'm just running them through their questions and their deals. And then we do some live calls as well. Is it time for offer structure, guys? Time to do a deal? I've got a deal that we can do. It is a mortgage takeover. It's a mortgage takeover on a package deal. I've got to do some underwriting for it. And then perhaps we do some questions. Working on off-market mortgage takeovers in Detroit. Yeah, okay, he wants to talk. Really quick, we'll talk to Michael. Hey, man, what's going on?
Brother, not much. How you doing today?
A little lethargic, but I'm getting through. How about you?
That's a big word, bro. I'm tired too, but I'm pushing. I'm gonna DM you the address real quick. Give me one number here. 18. It's off market. I found it on Lightning Leads.
Oh, you've been doing the off-market Lightning Lead stuff. How's that working for you, by the way?
I love it, bro, because even when you get under contract, renegotiating and explaining things are so much easier because you're just, you're letting them know what you're trying to do, and they appreciate you trying. So, except with when you're working with a realtor and you're trying to tell them like, hey, we need to extend for X, Y reason, they start throwing all these fits, and you're like, dude, like I'm on the same boat as you are. I'm trying to get this closed. Like, why are you mad at me for?
Yeah.
So I like it.
So I'm curious,
I just DM'd it
how
to you.
long ago did you start doing the off-market Lightning Lead stuff?
I just bought my second batch probably last week. So it's been about a month and a half. And I currently have 3 under contract. And now I have this negotiation as well.
You got 3 under contract. Wow. That's awesome, man.
Thanks, brother. Yeah, I'm trying.
Okay, so what do we have here? So this was previously listed for sale and it got removed because it was low equity, and you called them and you came to an agreement?
Yeah, he just so he wants to he said he has some conditions before he moved forward, and I'm like, let me bring it up to the team. Let me see if it's possible. So do you want me to give you the structure of the deal first, or what would you want first?
Yeah, just give me the structure of the deal. Looks like it's 96K property. What do they owe on it?
So on it on PropStream it says 88 849.
Good. So they owe 88 on it. And what'd you give them to take it over? What are you offering to take it over at least?
So Lightning Leads told me to start at 8. I offered him 6.
That's huge, man. That's at least like $7,000-$8,000 right there, depending on cash flow.
Yeah, so it's vacant right now. And then his thing that he's saying is he wants a 3-day business inspection. And he wants EMD submitted the day of signing, which I told him you normally don't do that. Apparently he'll install the furnace back, but the water heater and other appliances is the buyer's responsibility. So that's where I'm thinking like maybe we could even negotiate a little bit more here. But yeah, I'm offering 6K down to take over. And looks like Section 8 is at 1580. So, I mean, if the calculations are right, we could be looking at maybe 30% cash on cash return. I just don't know about the rehab. That's the thing. And I don't know if we can get it done in 3 business days.
I think we could get it done in 3 business days. I would just market it before you actually get it under contract. So I would market it. I would send it to me, and I could do some cold calling like right before you get it under contract and probably find somebody so that we can have those days to get the inspector into the property. But let's talk about the monthly payment on it. What is the monthly payment?
Sure. So what I've been doing because of these other properties I'm under contract, I add $300 to whatever Lightning Leads is telling me. So I don't have a statement, but I'm guessing the PITI on Lightning Leads it says 840, and if I add 300 to that, it's like 1140.
Oh man, I wouldn't imagine. What is PropStream saying? Yeah, I don't think so, man. PropStream's telling me that they have a 617 payment, and I'm gonna guess taxes and insurance are 200. I bet they're paying 817 on this thing.
Okay, so that's even better than what I was estimating.
And then what is this thing gonna rent out for on Zillow? So let's see the Zillow rent.
1361 is what it says on Zillow.
That's good enough. It's good enough. I think 1423 now.
Oh dang, bro, dang, that updated. That wasn't the 13th when I saved this information.
Good. So $1,400, $800 payment. Yeah, $6K down is where you should be, honestly. I think that's fine. The only hurdle I'm foreseeing is going to be the water heaters, but the water heater is only, I think you get a water heater for like $1,500 to $2,500. It's not that bad. I just threw water heaters in my Detroit property, so this is okay. This is all okay. You know of any other issues with the house?
No, he's just saying sold as is. So that's why when he said 3 business day inspection, I'm like, oof, I think we're gonna have to renegotiate if it's really bad. But I just told him I'd talk to the team.
I think if we had to, we could probably do it in 3 days. It's just hard to even get a contractor to come out in 3 days. Usually it's like at least 2 days to get the contractor out to the property, and then finding a buyer as well makes it really hard. So it's possible, but I'd love at least a 5 business day inspection period.
Yeah, I'll try to. Honestly, all the other ones I've had under contract are 14-day inspections, and we still had to extend. So I'll just be like, hey, bro, from my experience, this is what's happening, and I don't want to piss you off later. So I'll try to get that inspection period longer. But more than anything, I wanted to make sure that 6K is feasible. So yeah, brother, I'll let you know.
What's the interest rate on it again?
PropStream says. One moment, sorry.
PropStream says 7, but he
7.
owned it for 4, he owned it for 4 years, but I can see that he probably refinanced it in 2022. So he might have done a refinance in 2022. That might be why he has a 7% interest rate on it. But yeah, this would be a fine one, man. Just see if you can get the inspection period slightly longer.
Okay. All right, brother. I'll work on it. Thank you so much.
That's good.
So, take care, bro.
For those watching, let me show you what he's done here. I'll show you what he did, how he found that. Remember when I was texting people off of Lightning Leads the other day? Here's how to do it. So you can do this on market, but you can also do it off market. So if we do off market mortgage takeover on Lightning Leads and you click search, check it out. You're going to find people who used to be on market, but they took their house off market because they weren't going to make any money on the sale. So all of these used to be on market, but are no longer on market. Now I'm seeing some undesirable deals right here. Let's attempt this in Cleveland, Ohio. And you're talking direct with the seller. There's no realtor now. So Cleveland, Ohio, 173, low on the cash flow, 187. Nice. 364 on the cash flow. Let's check to see if he was on market. Looks like his house, he removed the listing. He was listed for 154. He removed the listing. He owes 125. He's got a 3% interest rate on it. Do we have any photos of the house? No photos of the property. But honestly, that would be a good one. Now, all I do is I click create offer. I unlock the contact information right here using cookies, and then I just call them. And I just give them a call. Let's see if it's the right phone number. Maybe so.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're trying to reach is not available.
Let's see if the phone number is blue. The phone number being blue lets me know if it's the actual owner or not. The phone number is blue. I'm going to say, would you still sell 11012 for the right offer? I had offered on it when it was on market. So I just texted her. I said, would you still sell 1102? And I didn't put the damn address. Oops. 11012 Peony. And wow, I spelled it wrong again. Let's edit it again. There we go. So I just edited that. It's correct now. I'm going to add her to my contacts, and I think that's their owner. Dash owner. Honestly, one of my favorite products we've ever come out with. Like I'm so obsessed with lightning leads off market. It works so well, guys. You probably have to make less phone calls and you're speaking directly with the owner this time. Like, look at this one right here. He was on market less than 3 months ago. If you scroll down on Zillow, it says listing removed at 167. Bro has a mortgage of 144. I'll try one more call right now. I'll try one more call. Let's see if I can unlock this guy's information. This woman's information, actually. Let's see if the phone number is blue. Blue phone number? Green phone number. Could be a landline. So we don't know if this is the right phone number. Let's call.
The subscriber you have dialed is not in service.
Yeah, you see that, guys? There's a correlation. Green phone number might be a disconnected line. Blue phone number, probably a connected line. Anyways, I called them and I'm like, hey, I had offered on your house when you had it for sale. It's no longer for sale. Are you still considering selling the property? And then we just go into our normal pitch, guys. So this is something that's been working for me, guys. We did get one of these properties under contract, so I know that it's possible to get in contact with the sellers. Interesting strategy there. Anyways, I have a portfolio to show you guys. I have a portfolio deal. I negotiated a portfolio deal. What happened to my email? Got signed out? Hold on, guys. I got to log back into my email. It signed me out for some reason. I don't know why Google does that. Let's see. So okay. Perfect. All right. I can share my screen again. All right. Portfolio. This is going to be great. I'm excited. Oh, the new TikTok? Fitness TikTok is doing well. Oh my gosh. They liked it. I posted a fitness video today. I never post fitness videos. Oh, good. I haven't posted a fitness video in ages, guys, and it's honestly ripping right now. That makes me very happy. It's pretty rare. It's pretty rare. Okay. We have a 30 property portfolio in Cleveland, Ohio, and I am intimidated to even get started on this thing, guys. So the owner has shared some information with me. We're going to interpret the information. I'm going to run through this together with all of you guys. I want to show you something before I start. This was one of the last portfolios that we did. This is a HUD statement annotating a $102,000 assignment fee. So this is kind of shit work, what I'm about to do right now. I hate to do what I'm about to do, underwriting a portfolio and seeing if there's anything that we can do with it. But we're going to get it done. So I'm going to create this Excel sheet. I'm going to put in all of the addresses. I'm going to put in their rents. I'm going to put in their equity. And then we're going to figure out an offer for all of the properties. So let's jump into it. This is going to be a pain, guys. This is going to be a pain. I want to show you this because it's possible to get a $100,000 assignment fee if you do this, but we're going to make it happen. So I'm going to start this right now. Starting underwrite now. Give me 20, 30 min, and I'll have you an offer. So he's okay with 10% down. He's okay with 10% down. Here we go. Okay. That's the address one. I'm going to put in type quadplex. So address one, type quadplex. These are all off market. Don't worry about it. Address two, this is 4 units plus a lot. So this is another quadplex here. Quadplex. Am I sharing my screen? How do we access lightning leads? Great question. It's kind of buried. I'll show you right now. You might want to record this. I'll give you 10 seconds to take out your phone. Yeah, 100K for an assignment fee. It was with John Ali, 102K. Go to buyboxcartel.com, click here, top right corner, click control panel, then click lightning leads. That's how to do it. Anyways, going back to our deal here. Oh, looks like I need to plug in my computer. Let me plug in my computer, guys. Hold on. Shit's almost done. Okay. Third unit, triplex. So this is why we need to write this down, guys, because it's just so much. Triplex. Fourth unit is going to be a duplex. Duplex. And then the next tab will be occupants, or we'll get there when we get there. Who is the other guy that sits here sometimes? Chris, maybe? Next one is going to be West 73rd, Cleveland, Ohio. This is going to be a 5-plex, 5 units. And then he just texted me. What did he say? Asking prices. So he just sent me asking prices. And then the next one is going to be, so we did West 73rd. The next one is West 49th Avenue. That one is a duplex and a single family. Duplex plus single? How could that be? What is that? I call it a triplex. Call it a triplex. Triplex. And then the next column will be rent. I'm going to do occupancy, rent potential. That's going to be fully occupied because it's not a fully occupied portfolio, guys. So I want to do rent and rent potential. I need to factor in everything. And then we're looking at, can I get mortgage payments for each property? I can estimate, but I'll need that too. So PITI. So he'll work on that with me too. And then, so we have West 49th Street. And then we have one more triplex, And then we'll also do asking price. So I can fill these in. Triplex, asking price. Okay. Rent potential, the total rent potential is $23,000. I think it's bringing in $19,000 right now. Let's plug in our asking prices too. So asking price for the first one, he wants $500,000. Asking price for 4 units plus a lot, zone for 4 to 6 unit buildings, $750. Wow. All right. I guess I'm not here to comp quite yet. He wants 320 for the other one, 320,000 for the other one. He wants 234 for Holmden. 234 for that one, 234 for that one. For this next one, he's looking for 312,000. And then for this one, West 49th? Oh, okay. It's a duplex and a single family. So he's looking for 229 plus 125. So I'm going to say duplex plus single. 125K single, 229K duplex. I wish he had separated those and given us different addresses. And then now I'm thinking we're going to separate these, honestly. For the last one, he's looking for 275. Very intimidating, guys, right? Very intimidating. I'm thinking about separating all of these because it's just, you know, the type of buyer that you need for all of these is just a massive buyer. Like you're looking at a really, really big buyer. It's going to be much easier to sell these off individually. So I'd much rather do this individually. I should probably also add another tab. Insert one column right. Where's right? Insert cells. Well, it doesn't tell us. I guess just left. So we'll change this one to debt because I need to know what they owe on these. So I'll do approximations first. So first one, my step one is to figure out what he owes on his mortgage and what that mortgage might cost. But honestly, it would be great to have this information from the seller. Whenever you can't find the address of a duplex, play with the numbers until you find it. So, man, I can't find that. I'm going to have to give this guy, we might have to put a pause on this, guys, because I can't even find the first one. Let's see if we can find any of these. Maybe the last one. This guy right here. Okay, yeah, we could find that one. Doesn't tell me any information on debt. Oh, actually, yes, it does. 175 owed. Huh. I'm going to need him to give me debt and mortgage payments as well. I'm calling the guy. I think Lightning Leads is 39 per month.
Hello?
Hey, man. I'm going through these right now. Some of them aren't showing me on PropStream public record what is owed on the properties, and consequently, they're not showing me the mortgage payments there. So I'm kind of building my own pro forma to underwrite these. I might do these maybe one or two at a time since they're multifamily properties and it's kind of a big pill to swallow altogether. But if you wouldn't mind sending me the mortgage statements, like, or if you just read it out, what they owe and what the monthly cost is so that we can understand what sort of debt we're taking over.
How can I ask you something?
Sure.
If the debt's not assumable, how how do you plan on taking it over?
Let's say you have a wealthy individual who gets married to somebody who doesn't have the same assets that they do. How does that person who's married add that person onto the ownership of their property if the debt is not assumable? Because that happens all the time, right? Maybe you have a rich guy, he's got a house, he gets married to a woman, or vice versa. How do you add that person onto the ownership if the debt is not assumable? You just add them on as an owner. So what we do is we put the property into a trust and we simply buy the trust off of you. So it's kind of like if you got married to somebody and that individual couldn't afford your primary residence because maybe you did really well for yourself. It's not that that person can't be added onto your debt, especially because they can't qualify for it. They might not have the income to. Like a rich guy in California, $1 million house, gets married to somebody who can't qualify for it. The easy legal loophole here is put the house into a trust, add an owner onto the trust, and specify within the terms of it that that person is responsible for all of the payments within. Also allows it to come off of your debt to income ratio as well.
It's pretty slick, man.
Yeah, it's just like everybody's like, well, you can't assume a loan that's not assumable. I'm like, wait a second. Doesn't this happen every single day in the United States when a rich person marries somebody who can't qualify for the assets that they own? You just put it in trust and add them as a beneficiary to the trust. So that's what I did with all the other ones. And it would relieve the DTI as well if that was being bogged down.
So you just put it in the trust you already have? Or
No. We'd have to create one. So we'd probably create a trust for each individual multifamily, and then we'd essentially buy the trust for the offer that we're creating for you. So I'm essentially making you offers to buy hypothetical trusts that would contain properties at a later date.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be my game plan for it. I thought that I could look up each property and figure out the debt and what it's costing you monthly. However, I just looked up one of them on Lorraine, and it says NA. So it's not telling me what you owe for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the refinance wasn't that long ago. But if you tell me what's owed and what that payment is, then I can get you that offer. I figured I could look it up myself, but it's just not available for whatever reason.
Okay. Yeah, I have to get each individual one over to you. I know it's somewhere in the ballpark of like 1.9 to 2 million for all of that.
we would probably separate them out by 1 to 2 properties at a time, but I think it's pretty feasible. I can see a mortgage on one of them. One of them saying that you owe 175, and I think your asking price on that one is 275, with a $1,200 monthly payment. I would just need to understand essentially what they can bring in and what the debt is on each property, so that I know if it's cash flowing. Because, like, let's say you have one that breaks even monthly, we probably would want to remove that one and do it separately.
Okay. I mean, I have the T12, I think.
I'll text you over specifically what I need. It shouldn't take too long, just logging into some mortgage portals and looking at payments.
Yeah, my business partner has access to all that.
Okay, let me go ahead and text you what I need, just so you know, because I would imagine it's a little unclear. I just said a lot at you.
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time I've ever heard it. So
Yeah, it's welcome to the world of creative finance, man.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen your videos, so it's pretty cool. Trying to work on it.
I'm sure we can, man. I'm sure we can. Let me text you what we need.
All right, sounds good, sir.
Thanks so much for your patience. Talk soon, okay?
Bye.
Bye. All right, so I don't think we have enough to structure offers right here. Okay, so we just need send mortgage balances for each property, and then send PITI, parentheses, mortgage payment for each property. And then 3, individually, what does each house bring in? And then I'll say example. Let's do an example. I'll do this one. Why didn't my copy and paste work? Mortgage, $175,000. Payment, $1,250. Let's just see. Is that what it says? 12. I think it's with PIT. So $1,450. So payment $1,450, and then rental income, 2 out of 3 units rented, bringing in $1,900 per month. But fully occupied, $2,750, we'll say. I'll say sorry for the inconvenience, comma, I know that's a lot to find. And then we'll revisit that. So you guys are going to continuously see me fill out this sheet here. I'll talk you through my thought process here. Maybe I can find debt on one of them. Maybe I can find debt and PITI on one of them. So let's look up just one of these things. So West 73rd, Cleveland, Ohio. Great. I found one. I think I found one. Awesome. So this thing, West 73rd, is a 5 unit. Okay. I think I found debt. So what does he want for the 5 unit? What was his asking price for the 5 unit? $312. And he owes $199. Okay. And then what is its at? What is its estimated value is way below what he's saying it is. Let me just make sure we're not too crazy here. So let's just check out this address right here. So 5 unit property. Interior looks to be okay. He says he's asking, I mean, he paid $300 for it, I guess. It looks like he paid $300 for it. So I guess that, I guess that does kind of justify it. But in essence, guys, and I'm going to send him a video. So this is how it would kind of work for 3164 West 73rd Street. I'm seeing on public record that there's $200,000 debt. You're looking for 300 on the property. So what we would do is I'd give you $30,000 down. I'd take over the 200,000, and I'm guessing your monthly payments on this are close to 1,700 with taxes and insurance, but it's a 5 unit. So if each one is bringing in, I don't know, maybe $900 per month, you'd be looking at, what is that, $4,500 income on this property. I would have room to make you like $1,000 on payments on this one alone. So we could take over the debt, give you a down payment of 30,000, and then the remaining 70,000 that we have to make payments towards, $1,000 in payments towards that. Now, this is a hypothetical. I don't know if this is what your debt is. I don't know if this is what your monthly payment is, but I essentially need to know the monthly payment and the debt and the income of this property so that I can structure an offer. There we go. This is going to take a minute. This is going to take a minute. I can't really go any further right now, but in time I will. I'm gonna say that this one might owe 199. I guess we'll start to fill out this. So 199,000, occupancy, I don't know, rent, I don't know, rent potential, I don't know. And then I'm gonna do debt/PITI. Or maybe we add a new tab. Insert one column, right. PITI. So let's say that the PITI on this, I mean, it's a 5 unit, 1335, maybe it's 1850, 1800. That would be some pretty hefty PITI. That would assume 400 and something for taxes and insurance, which is unlikely. But anyways, yeah, this is kind of what I need to structure offers on these guys. If I were to get all of these, and I would say the likely scenario is I get 1 to 2 of these, I could make $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 on these. This is a gold mine right here. You have to go through it, figure out what they owe on the property, what it costs you on the property, and what the property is bringing in. But each one of these could be $10,000, if not more. So it's pretty exciting, guys. It is mundane. It is shit work, but you can make a lot of money. You can make a lot of money off of something like this. So anyways, you'll see me. This will probably be my next deal. Not to buy, to wholesale. You'll probably see me get these in the next 2 weeks. I'll probably get these under contract in the next 2 weeks. And then I'm probably going to do it individually so that it's not such a tall order for one buyer to pay, not such a big inspection, not everything on the line, because it could be all or nothing. It could be all or nothing, guys. What I mean by that is perhaps you get all of them under contract and one of them is destroyed. That deletes the entire deal. So it would be nice to do these individually so that if one of them comes up buyers to address that, not only is it a lower purchase price, but if one of them's dead, we don't have to restructure the entire thing. I'm tired of being charged for something I don't use. I know, damn Netflix, they have this subscription and I just don't know what to do because I don't use Netflix anymore. Dog, cancel your subscription. Cancel your subscription. I'll give you customer support right now. Here, take a screenshot of this. This is your customer support. Here we go. Great. Oh, I've got my ring light on. Let me fix this. This is your support. This is so for anybody who's having issues right here. That is your support. Hopefully you took a screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I really hope you took a screenshot of that. I really did. But that's your customer support right there if you need it. And Discord, you guys have it in WAP. I'm sorry. I'm misspeaking. Support. You guys have it in support. And then TikTok, if you needed that, I'll also show you guys as well, just in case you need it. Here you go. This is customer support in case you need it. Because I know that a lot of people sign up for the Discord and can't access it because Discord is kind of a confusing platform. Hopefully you got that. Hopefully you took a screenshot of that. Anyways, let's just start with this one. What is owed on what is monthly payment? And then what is rental income? Okay. I'm kind of upset with how much I've asked of him. I'm a little worried about how much I've asked of him. I've said send mortgage balances for each property, send PITI, and then individually, what does each property bring in? Example, 6904 Lorraine Avenue, mortgage 175, payment 1450, rental income 2 out of 3 units rented, bringing in 1900 per month, but a fully occupied 2750. Did you get any victory royales last night? Yeah, we got one, but it was honestly a terrible lobby. It was a bad lobby. It was I don't even think they were real. I was playing with honey beehives. We did get, it was actually first game we played, victory royale, absolutely. Rowan says I'll wax you on Origins, but I actually had to carry Rowan. I think it was like 8 downs and I had 0. Anyways, okay, should we do, it's probably a little late for calls, guys. Should we hit questions, Q&A? Yes, builds, absolutely. Should we, what's going on with the rent paying thing? There, if you scroll down on my Instagram, I literally recorded myself sending out the payments to people. Can I come up for deal check? Yeah, absolutely. Questions, deal checks, sure. Let's do it, guys. I'm here to help. Can you kindly try again one of the off-market lightning leads? Are there any cheap cities on the West Coast? Pueblo, Colorado, Bakersfield, California, but not cheap enough to cash flow. So Sacramento's not that cheap either. So I would need something to cash flow. I'll do some more calls on it tomorrow. Essentially, it's just a little bit late for calls right now. Anyways, let's talk to some people. Use the guy who I brought up first. Who are you? It won't show me your name. It says S. You look like you're on a golf course. Oh, there you go. Oh, hey, it's you. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
Good. I am gonna DM you these 3. It's actually a 3-property portfolio. But it's gonna be seller finance. I just want you to tell me if I have my down payment pretty high, but like my monthly payments are super low.
Okay, that's possible. Rowan just did a deal like that and it worked. So I mean, Rowan has like a 500K house with a 90K entry because of cash flow as well. What's the purchase price?
It is 830, and the down payment's 170.
So purchase price. Oh, that is a big down payment, isn't it? Okay, what's your?
I know.
What's your? What do we call it? What's your rental income versus payment?
I'm gonna be, yeah, that's where it's crazy. Cash on cash returns 13% because my monthly income's 2250. So
800K property only brings in 2,000.
It's three properties. Yeah, because one of them's not rented, right? One of the units in one of the properties isn't rented right now.
Okay, so we have an $800,000 property, but it's 3 properties. Each one is like 270,000 or something like that.
Hold on, I'm just gonna send you the addresses so you can look.
Maybe 280,000 or something. Okay.
I just put them in your DMs. One's 250. Yeah, one's 330, and then another one's 150.
Oh, Buffalo, New York. This is a really great market. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this?
Don't share them yet because I'm not under contract on them yet.
Of course. Is this are they occupied? Are they occupied or vacant?
Yeah, every single unit is occupied besides one unit in that the 1812. And then there's a unit in there that you could put like commercial in, but it's just like a garage. Like he's using it as storage right now.
So
it just needs to be like fixed up a little and you could rent it out.
Cumulatively, what do you think that all of these would bring in? Like all occupied, what would you say?
I would think it would get probably close to 3 monthly.
But how? They're 280K properties. They rent out for more than 1,000 a pop.
Because taxes there are so fucking high.
But disregard
Oh,
taxes.
sorry.
Disregard taxes and insurance. What is each one of those? I mean, I'm just gonna guess. Buffalo, New York. It's still a nice place to live. I mean, you're probably looking at least 2,000 per property, especially in the 280K price range.
They're not that nice. Hold on, I can pull up the rent roll.
I don't know of any 280K properties that rent out for $1,000 a month. I've never seen that before. That would be like the best place to live ever, because it would be not desirable, but more.
Honestly, I didn't check comps, so like I'm just going off what she gave me.
Let me see. Okay, so one of the ones you sent me. Oh yeah, terrible. Wow, horrible rent.
I know.
1,300.
Yeah.
1,300.
So
what is the estimated value on this thing? Is it really that expensive?
So I have the rents in front of me if you want them.
I'm gonna look up the price on that thing. 250. Yeah, a 250K house rents out for. Wow, terrible rent. Okay. I just didn't think that it was that bad. I was under the impression that it would be more than that. All right, I understand now. I
know it's on. I think it's on the rise in Buffalo though. Like I mean, I know like Buffalo is a growing market definitely. So.
Okay. So.
Yeah. The single family is rented for $900.
Okay, so fully occupied, I could bring in 3,000. I'm just gonna say.
I'd say 3.
The use of 170, probably $200,000 for only 3K gross is rough.
I know.
That is rough. And I usually with seller financing, we can make that stuff work by making the payment super low, but you need no payments. You would need no payments to even begin to justify that. And I think you've seen that with your cash on cash return at 13%.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I feel like you could access a lot more cash flow for that sort of down payment. You can do this deal, but your down payment probably should be 60.
Yeah, he's got a loan on it. That's why.
But can't we just take over the
But it's like a loan over all 3 properties. And the rate sucks.
I just don't know if your cash flow is where it needs to be for that sort of down payment.
I know.
It's just because man, I'll give you an example. That down payment bought us this entire property. This thing is like a 13 unit. Like this entire facility, mixed use commercial. Let me go ahead and share my screen for you. So we were able to access this entire mixed use 13 unit complex, a ton of residential units. This is like a tower. This tower just goes up.
Yeah,
that's got a barber shop.
That's Jesumar's deal, right?
Same entry fee for your buyer, 200K. So it's and dude, your payment was 6, rented for 19. So it's like, you know, that sort of down payment, it just needs to access more cash flow. I don't think my buyers would jump on something like that. I would try to, you can't do them individually because of the loan. So
I know. Yep. And he won't do seller finance on them individually.
He can't because of the loan. So you've got 3 properties. How low equity is he?
She said like high, I think 139, I think she said.
Well, let's say on all of them, the asking price is 850. What portion of that is debt?
I think 159. Oh, yeah.
He only owes 150?
Yeah.
So we're
that's why I'm trying to just clear it, pretty much. And she's like, yeah, he's paying my 5% commission. And I'm just like, bro, come on.
How can we give him 100? That would make it work, man. If they're asking, if it's an 850K house, right? And they owe 149,000. You're telling me that you're taking over the 149,000 for 170K, and he's just walking away from the rest of the equity, even though it's worth 850?
No, wait, what do you mean?
Because you just said he owes 149, but they're asking 850.
Well, they're asking 730. I'm paying over asking price.
Okay, let's say they're asking $730,000. You're literally just giving them 170K to take over the 149?
No. I'm seller financing the rest of that.
Okay.
730.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your monthly payments for the remaining amount?
$900 a month.
I understand.
A 1% interest rate.
Yeah. I think ultimately the issue is the down payment's too high for the cash flow. You know.
All right.
That's a pickle.
That's kind of what I figured.
And a half. I would say that they're not a good. I don't think they're a good candidate for a seller finance offer. I think they're a good candidate for a lowball cash offer. Of course, it's Buffalo, New York, and I can't really speak for how my buyers will react to that. And they might be occupied, so it might not be a great cash offer anyways. But honestly, if I met somebody and they're like, hey, I want 730, I owe 149, but the portfolio can only bring in $3K per month, I'd be like, man, how am I going to make you payments for your equity and a down payment that makes sense to you, given that its cash flow is terrible? And I would probably think about just doing a cash offer on them. But given that it's Buffalo, New York, my confidence in a cash offer is quite low.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. That's a pickle.
I kind of knew that was coming anyways. Like, should I just shoot my shot with it and whatever, if it doesn't go through, like, I'm not going to be mad about it.
Personally, I wouldn't, because I'm like quite confident that would not go through. I can't imagine why somebody would do a deal like that.
All right.
I'm sorry. I hate to.
No, you're good. No, you're good. I'm not butthurt about it.
All right, cool. Talk soon, man. Okay.
Is that quick question. Is that buyer that you had like a couple weeks ago that was ready to buy a bunch of Section 8 deals? Yes. Is he still active?
Oh yeah, it's going phenomenal.
Okay.
It's going.
All right, because I got a pretty good one in Toledo that I'm gonna get under contract. So
their main markets are Cleveland, but honestly Detroit. So Detroit.
Okay. All right. I got another one in Detroit too. So
Memphis, Cleveland, Birmingham. Not necessarily in that order, but Detroit first. So Detroit, Memphis, Cleveland, Birmingham. Some things to look out for. 99% of the time, these buyers buy between 60 to 75K. Like 99% of the time, it's between those prices after your discount and fee. And then they hate when there's shootings in the area. So check spot crime. Aim to offer at least 0.7 of what? I'll say 20K below list. Aim to offer at least 20K below list.
But he wants like 25% cash on cash if they're rented, right?
Good question. If they're rented, 20%. If they're unrented, 30% potential. He does not go off of Section 8. They go off of long-term Zillow rent. Section 8 is for this buyer is largely believed to be not very accurate.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
And then keep in mind, these are cash deals. They're really easy. Your cancellation rate is going to be much higher with cash deals because it's much lower hanging fruit.
Yep. Cool. Thank you.
Absolutely. Andrew, what did you think?
I got a one-on-one too that I'm going to hit you up for soon too. So
yes, sir.
Just let you know.
Absolutely. All right. Text and call just in case I don't see it.
All right, cool. I will. Thanks.
Right, bye. I give away one-on-ones from time to time, guys, but if you want, you can book me for a one-on-one. How do we bring offers to him? Well, you're just locking up properties. So I'll show you an example of what would be great. So if I'm looking on Zillow really quickly, guys, and I'm like, hey, let me pull a nice little deal for myself. I love Detroit, and understand, guys, this is you might get it done, you might not get it done. If you could get this under contract today, and it might set you up to make $5,000. But my long time standing experience with cash deals is that they are much less reliable. Why? Because you're buying it with a loan with 20% down or all up front in cash, and the scrutiny that you put into the property is tenfold that of a creative finance deal. Okay. Anyways, here's what I would say would be an awesome deal for him. I want to find a property that looks like it's in really good condition, multifamily or single family. Let's make it simple this time and just do a single family property. And then I want to find something that's probably listed for 100, and I just want to get it for 70. And that would make it quite likely for you to get the deal done. But there's also a couple of nuances that I want you to go over. So I'm going to price high to low. I'm going to look for the prettiest, cleanest one I can find. This thing looks nice and clean. Checking my roof, looking okay. Interior, probably looking okay. That doesn't look too bad. Is this a multifamily? Single family, well-maintained duplex. Duplex? Interesting. This would work too, 70K. Something like this for 70K. Now, I do want to find one that's like particularly turnkey. Okay, see the roof? Nice. See the interior? Nice. That's particularly turnkey. So this is a particularly turnkey property. Now it comes down to the rent. So what is the rent here? I'm hoping it's close to 13, at least 1,400 per month, because if it's 1,200 per month, your offer is significantly less. So that your offer is proportionate to rent, it's $1,250 per month. Unfortunately, 65K, guys. Unfortunately, 65. I wouldn't want to show this to my buyer probably above 69, 70K because he wants that cash on cash return. Let's see if we have higher rent on one of these properties. So this one looking really nice and turnkey for me. Well, yeah, that's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. Looking good. I've been there for 180 days. That's scary. Probably call and ask about the 180 days. I'm definitely frightened. 9 days on Zillow, not showing me interior photos, risky. Need to call and ask about the interior photos on something like that. This one, interior appears to be older, but not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Looking okay. So 8 days on Zillow, so it hasn't been massively rejected by the market. And if it's been massively rejected by the market, chances are my buyer might reject it as well. Come on, show me the address. This is going to rent for hopefully 13, 14. Nice. Yes. Yeah. $1,400. That's a gem. $1,400 is a gem. I love to see $1,400. Only 8 days on Zillow, but I'm hitting this guy with 70K. And I'd have high confidence. High confidence. What's the only other thing that could go wrong? The inspection. Be so transparent. Like, hey guys, if your house is cooked, I'm going to have to renegotiate. I just want to let you know, if the house is cooked, I have to renegotiate. Last test here. How many people have been shot? Hopefully none. Nice. No shootings. Okay, great. And then we just call and we present the offer. So I'll call and I'll present the offer and they're going to scream at me, but that's okay. Wait, one more thing. Check the debt before you make your call. Check the debt before you make your call. What if they owe 90K on the house? You're not making that offer. You're making a creative finance offer. They don't have debt on the house. Easy. Now, how long have they been trying to sell it? Just so I can kind of understand their mindset. They just listed it for sale. Honestly, I don't want to be the one when they just listed it for sale to hit them with 70,000, but I'm going to be the one to hit them with 70,000. I'm going to do it just to show you guys I'm willing to do what I'm recommending that you guys do. This is uncomfortable, but we rip off the Band-Aid. I hate lowballing in cash. I like creative finance 10 times more than this, but hell, this would be a deal. Do it for 50? No, they're going to scream at me, guys. Come on. Don't answer your phone. Don't answer your phone. I don't want you to yell at me, bro.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're...
Okay, I'll text the offer. I'll text it. I'm going to do it with a voice message. Hey, can you present a verbal offer on your listing at Craft Street? On Craft Street? I own 2 others in Detroit. I sent this to my DSCR lender and they pre-approved me at 70,000. And honestly, because the rent is so high, what's the highest I could offer? Let's be real. What's the highest I could offer? We want to be careful here. So let me title this. Okay. The highest I could offer, let's say I get it for 73 and my buyer pays 77, 4K assignment on that. His down payment will be 15.4, 20%, right? His interest rate, 7.1. His amortization, 30. This is his monthly payment, 413 plus 250, 633. It's renting for 1,400. Take 20% off the top, then subtract your 663. You're making $457 per month. Per year, you're making $5,400. Your total cost of investment was going to be 15 plus 5, 20,400. Hopefully 30. 26. So that wouldn't work, guys. It's vacant. It wouldn't. That's a little high. So let me run it again. Let's say he pays 74 and I get it at 70. So if he pays $74,000, his down payment is 14,800. Yeah, 14,800. Monthly payment, add your 250. Monthly payments 397. What am I doing right now? 397, add the 250, 647 is your monthly payment. So take your 1,400, multiply it by 0.8, subtract your 647. You're looking at 473 coming in, multiply that by 12, $5,600 coming in. Total cost of investment is 19,800. 19,800. How did you get to 19,800? I took the down payment, 14,800, and I added 5 for closing costs. 19,800 would be the total cost of investment. And I'll give you the formula for this 12. Wow, I'm losing my ability to speak. I said I'll give you the formula for this, and then for some reason 12 came out. Okay, 1,400 multiplied by 0.8, subtract the 647 you had, 647. You're looking at 473, multiply that by 12. Maybe that was where the 12 was. You're looking at this per year divided by, add 5 to this, 19,800. And this ROI is 28%. So I think he'd probably do the deal at 70. Honestly, 73. I think 73 is probably where we need to send it to him for. So I think this is a 3K assignment if you get it at 70. You get this thing for 70, you're probably looking at a $3,000 assignment fee, which is not great. I think there's better opportunities out there, guys. But I do want to say that's a 28.6% cash on cash. I don't think that's at 75 or 74, maybe a 4K assignment. So it's not. I think they'd still take it. And if he doesn't take it, one of my other buyers will. Because that's a good deal, guys. That's a solid return on investment. 28%. That's a good return on investment. And honestly, we underwrite pretty strictly. The taxes and insurance are not as high as we said they were. So arguably, it could be a slightly higher return on investment. But I would say this thing for 70 would be the ideal cash deal. And then terms, 6 business day inspection, and then EMD post inspection of maybe call it $1,500. And then I just shoot over my offer, and then we go from there. But anyways, I'm gonna answer some questions. Let's talk to Connor. I think you were next, Connor.
How you doing, Rich?
I'm okay. How are you?
Good. So I had a couple questions regarding the seller financing. The first one is, if you have a property that's they're asking, say, $550,000 and PropStream's estimating the value for like $530,000, do you still throw the 10% on top of their asking offer, or does that change based on the value?
Are you asking if I offer 10% over as price point changes?
Yeah.
I think 10% over is fine across the board. It just depends on your what you owe at your balloon. So like a hypothetical, like let's say we wanted to do an $800,000 property and we offered him $900K, right? That's more than 10% over. So we offered, so let's say it's on a 7-year balloon. 7-year balloon, it was listed for 800, we offered 900. So $900,000. Let's say it's a quadplex, maybe it brings in 6K per month. Let's give him a down payment of maybe $85,000, no interest because interest is in the offer. And if it's bringing in 6,000, maybe I can pay him. Maybe I could pay him this. Maybe I could pay him $2,200 a month. I think that would be fine with taxes and insurance. Maybe you're paying $3,000, maybe $3,100, and you're bringing in 6. So you probably pay a little more than that. Maybe we do 27-year amortization. So call it $2,500 per month. In 7 years, I need to owe 75% of what the property may be worth. Let's see if this works. In 7 years, I owe 603. Let's say the house does not go up in value even a dime. doesn't go up even a dime. Keep in mind, we are over 10% over list right now. 10% over list would be 880. We're at 900. So this would be offering 100K over list on a house listed for 800. 0% interest, 7-year balloon. In 7 years, you owe 603. Now, let's say it doesn't go up in value. It's worth 800,000. If you call the bank and you say, hey, how much can you give me as a loan against my 800,000? They'll say 75%. That's where my 75% came from. It's called a refinance. You refinance it and you can pull out 600. So even if the property doesn't go up in value by even a dime in 7 years, almost a decade of no appreciation, you'd only have to bring 3K to the closing table to refinance the house. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for my refinance to be possible, even if I don't pull, even if it doesn't appreciate. Now, if I had offered 980,000 or 880,000, which would be the 10% over list, now you owe 588 and your refinance is no problem.
Okay. Okay. And the second one is there a minimum amortization? Jesus.
Amortization. Amortization.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Is there a minimum you meet when it comes to making these seller finance deals, or is it strictly based on the numbers?
I don't like to amortize over 40 years. I don't like to amortize over 40 years, and here's why. Let's say that now this deal is just a normal deal with maybe a 3% interest rate on it. If I amortize this thing for any more than 40 years, like 50 years, my debt pay down disappears. You see how now almost my entire payment here is interest and I don't pay it down for very much. So maybe 50 years is your max amortization, but as this number goes up, we call it term length here, but it's also known as amortization. Your pay down goes down. So the more money goes to interest. So sure, extending this number lowers your monthly payment here, but it also lowers the amount that you pay down monthly. So if I were to have perhaps a 70-year amortization, sure, now my payment's gone down another $200, but now I only pay down my debt by $200.
Okay.
And then my balloon is less achievable. It becomes closer to interest only the longer that this extends. It means it would take me 70 years of these payments with interest in order to pay off the property. A standard amortization is 30. I find a lot of the time my common amortizations are anywhere between 20 and then all the way up to 40 years, I'd say, so that we're still substantially paying it down.
Gotcha. All right. That's all I had.
Now, if it's a seller finance deal, I will say this. If you have a 0% interest rate and you amortize something like this over 50 years, there's no interest. So your pay down does go down, but you also don't have any interest on the property, so it's more desirable. So it's important to note that if you don't have any interest on your property and you're seller financing, your amortization can be longer because you don't have that other amount bogging you down.
Gotcha. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Just make sure your refinance is attainable. So just like the example we looked at before, I'll write this out, guys, because I know it's kind of a brain teaser. At the date of your balloon, you should owe approximately 75 to 80% of what the house is worth now. This is your amortization guide. At the date of your balloon, you should owe approximately 75 to 80% of what the house is worth now. Use the list price as your anchor. That's what I would say.
Perfect. All right. Well, I appreciate you, Rich.
Absolutely. Talk soon, man.
See you.
I think this guy named B was probably next. Does anyone have the offer oven he's using? Yeah. Here's the offer oven. Let me drop it in the chat for you. It'll say, don't request access. Click File, Make a Copy. File, Make a Copy. So click right here, File, Make a Copy, and then you can use this thing. Hey, man, sorry I don't know your name. It won't show me, but you have a mortgage takeover offer accepted, I understand.
It's kind of a tricky situation. I was doing seller finance calls, but while I was doing seller finance calls, the property originally showed up on PropStream as free and clear. But when I called the agent said the seller had a mortgage on it.
Cool.
But because I had already took the creative finance course, I kind of just used what I learned from there to kind of set things up.
That's perfect.
But I was kind of presented with a lot of information, and I kind of wanted to know how you would process that information, because the property is a 5-2. It was originally a multi-family, but the owner changed it to single family. The owner had listed it for 179, and she owes 170 on the property. So I sent you the address, and I sent you the seller disclosure, and also the agent sent me some comps for the property. So I was just curious as to how you would process all of that information, if it was worth pursuing the deal. But the agent did give me a yes, because I did explain how everything works with the trust acquisition and everything else. And the agent was said that if I draft up a contract, she would be more than willing to present it to the seller. But the seller had given a verbal yes. I just had to write it up. But I wanted to make sure if it's a deal before I try and go under contract for it.
Okay. Do you want to DM me the address?
I already sent you a DM with the address and the comps.
Okay, let me go ahead and check it out. Cruz, you can Google that, man. That is so easy. You can Google when I use a hard money or DSCR loan, parentheses, asset-based loan based on the ARV and condition of the property. Do lenders ever inspect to confirm condition? Beyond that, if they don't inspect, why are they literally inspecting after every draw we send? That's literally how lending works, guys. If you're using a commercial loan and you guys get money for, so if you've ever heard a lender say no draws, what does no draws mean? Or no inspections after the draw? It means every single time that you receive money and pay your contractor, they're not going to inspect the property after you do a draw. But guys, we have a lender in the chat who will literally hop on the phone with you guys. So you have Sammy Seller Finance, and you also have private money loans. So these two individuals will hop on the phone with your realtor and be like, so I'm a lender and we do inspect the property. Your agent is literally just making things up. I'd love to have a fun conversation with her. I wonder how many views we could get her. So let's check your deal. Oh, I don't have anything in my DMs from you, man.
Let me just send that over to you again.
That's awesome, Adam. Can you see what my mic looks like on your end? What do you mean your mic? I cannot see your microphone, no. Guys, it says lenders don't do inspections, they do appraisals. Why don't we Google it? Maybe we can just send her a fun screenshot. Huh. That's so crazy. So can you send her this and then send her that little melting face emoji? Cruz, let me do it. I'll do it. That sounds fun. I'm going to do it. I'm going to send her that screenshot with the little melting face emoji. That sounds fun. Sorry, Cruz. We just need to bully her really, really quickly. Just really, really quick, like a quick bullying session. Let me find that really stupid ass emoji she sent.
I just sent you the address, the disclosure, and the the comps on DMs.
Hold on, I'm bullying this agent really quickly. I'm so sorry, Cruz. I just needed we just needed to retaliate. Here's what I said to her. Okay. Okay, Detroit. Let's look up this property. So looking up the house in Detroit. $179,000 house. They have a mortgage on the property. What do they owe?
170.
170. And what are the special details about this thing? It used to be a multifamily, now it's a single family. Do you know what the mortgage is costing?
Yes. The agent said it was 1,600. I think that was with taxes and insurance, but I'm not really sure.
Okay, I'll check it out. All right, I'm going to stop responding before I blow up your deal. The agent is just clinical. I'm going to check your PITI on this. So what does the house rent out for? What is the like full income of the property on?
The agent did say if you rent it out as a 5-bedroom, it's at least 1,900. But she did say that it used to be a multifamily and it could possibly be rented out for more.
I think they'll keep it as a single family. And the mortgage payment, I'm sorry, one more time, the mortgage payment was?
I think 1,600 with taxes and insurance.
Yeah, that's why these mortgage takeovers on more expensive properties are harder, because they don't really cash flow as much, guys. As I said, when the price goes above 135,000 or maybe even 120,000, the cash flow starts to fall off. But yeah, we don't have a whole lot of room here. It would help if you had a really low interest rate. Do you know what the interest rate is?
She does have a 7% interest rate on it.
Yeah, that would cash flow if the house were cheaper. It just kind of breaks even right now. So without cash flow, I'll be honest, it's the justification for these is far and few between. Cruz, I'm not responding to that anymore. I cannot look at any of the messages that she's saying, but you respond to that. Anyways, you don't have much cash flow here. And the reason that real estate investors buy rental properties is to cash flow. It would be hard.
That's the same thing I was thinking too, but I was the thing that kind of threw me off was the comps, because I was seeing the prices that the comps were going for. So I was curious if like a buyer would get a property like this. If you had some buyers that would stay in the property, but they would still buy the property under a mortgage takeover. So that's why I still saw the comps.
Buyers go by this saying, equity comes, equity goes, the cash will always flow, which means that if I have a rental property, I don't really care what I owe, unless it's a crazy, crazy difference. But the thing is, we know it's priced where it needs to be because it's been there for 102 days. I'm blurring my eyes as your agent texts me. I don't want to see it. Essentially, this deal, the comps are kind of irrelevant for it because it's a rental property. So the comps don't really matter on this particular rental property, at least for my buyers. The only thing that matters is what is the monthly payment? What does the thing bring in? And in this case, it doesn't really cash flow. So as far as somebody wanting to live in the property, we really only see that if it's in a really desirable market like, Phoenix, Arizona, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, Austin, Texas. It's uncommon to find a buyer who'd want to live in the property. The only thing they're looking at is cash flow, and the cash flow is not really here. So
No problem, Richard. I just wanted some clarification on that, but I just wanted to leave nothing to chance. I still wanted to figure it out if it was a possible deal or not.
Of course. I would say you're on the right track. I know you initially targeted this for seller financing. This would be a good seller financing opportunity. But for mortgage takeover, when the mortgage is right next to what they owe like that, and the house isn't inherently desirable with no cash flow, it makes it really hard. Dude, if this thing had a monthly payment of $1,000 and the rent was say $1,600, it would be a win. But as I said, when the price goes above 130,000, your cash flow starts to disappear.
Oh, no problem, Richard. Thank you for the help.
Absolutely. Talk soon, man. Next is Mr. Ian. Hey, Ian, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, Rich? I'm doing good. How are you, bro?
I'm okay, man. What can I help you with today?
I had a question. Can you help me understand from a buyer's mindset why the terms that you gave in your course video are terms that are desirable?
Sure.
Because I'm, like the whole 10% down, 10% over list, 40% of the payments monthly, right? Why are those good compared to something that I got recently, like 50 down with 3-year balloon? Like, would you be able to explain that?
Yeah. I'll probably have to give you a couple different examples to illustrate that, but I always like this example. What would you rather buy? A house for 100K or a house for 200K, assuming it's the exact same property? 100K house, same property, no difference. Would you rather pay 100K or 200K?
The 100K.
Right, because 100, it's like literally $100,000 less, right? Now, what if it's 100K cash and 200K with maybe 10% down?
Well, then the 200K one.
But why? You're paying more for it. If it's a rental property,
because only 10% up front.
Exactly. You get a much higher cash on cash return. So guys, I'll actually run this mathematically for you. So that's a drastic example to illustrate our less job, because we never offer 100 over list on a 100K property. We never pay twice what a property is worth. But even in this massively drastic example, which would never happen for us, it still works. So I'm gonna have to, because this only answers part of your question, but I'll explain the math behind it. Let's find us a 100K property really quick. Okay, this is a 100K property. Let's see what it's gonna. It's destroyed. Come on, 100K property in livable condition. Okay. So let's run this example to illustrate this answer for you. Zillow Rental Manager. I think this one went for $1,400 a month. And let's go. Okay, $1,400 a month. Let's run our cash on cash return for each different scenario. So if you buy this thing for $100,000, we'll manually do the cash on cash so it's easier to understand. If you buy this thing for $100,000, your total cost of investment is $105 with closing costs, right? Because it's 100K cash. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I offered. Yeah.
$100,000 cash, and you're still renting it out for $1,400. So you multiply by 0.8, then you subtract your taxes and insurance, and you don't have a mortgage payment because you paid cash. You make $870 a month. You multiply that by 12, you make this much per year. So your ROI is going to be this divided by your total cost of investment, $105,000. You get a 9.9% ROI, just below 10% return on your investment. Now, for the exact same property, we pay $200K, but we have a mortgage on it. So let's say we do $200,000. We have $20,000 down. And let's say that it's our 0% interest seller financing example because we've offered 100K over list, so it could only be that. And let's say the payments that we agreed upon with the seller are perhaps, like $500 or something like that. The normal payments we'd make for a $100,000 house. So you buy the property for $200,000, but your total cost of entry is only $25K, 20K down, 5K closing costs. So you rent out for $1,400, you multiply by 0.8, you subtract your $250 for taxes and insurance, then you subtract your $500, you're making $370 per month. Per year, you're making $4,440. Your total cost of investment was $25,000. So in this scenario, you get a 17% cash on cash return. Now, people would be like, but I overpaid by $100,000 for the property. What if it's a rental and you're going to own it for 30 years? I'm not selling that property anytime soon. And now it's not to say that we would offer $100,000 over. But if you were going to offer 100K over and just hold on to the property indefinitely as a rental and you only cared about cash flow, you're good to go. You're totally good to go. So I guess to answer your question, why is it better to put down less than more? Your cash on cash return is higher. And honestly, rule number one in investing is leverage other people's money. So it's kind of a hard question to answer, but I would say this: a property is not worth its price. It's worth the terms within its price, which means its down payment, its monthly payment, its interest rate, its cash flow.
I see. That makes sense. Yeah, man. I hit him with your 10, 10, 40 rules basically, and he came back with 50% down. And I was just understanding why that's bad. But
Sure. It's because the bank requires 20%. The point of creative financing is to beat the bank. Now, here's the thing. If somebody ever has an objection like that, like I need 50% down, it means they don't want to sell or finance. But we shouldn't be calling on properties where they don't want to sell or finance. We should be calling on properties where they need to sell or finance. So I'm going to go to Houston, Texas really quickly, and I'll find you something. I'm going to put a minimum price point of $600,000. I'm going to filter for multifamily, and we're going to price these things high to low. And let's see if I can find a real ugly multifamily that wouldn't cash flow. Oh, I thought 600 was my max. Oh, that's minimum. Minimum 600, maximum maybe we do like, I don't know, $1 million. And let's find something that doesn't cash flow. I want it to be small. 8. Yeah, look at this. Quadplex, 100% leased, fantastic location, 5-unit complex. Okay. So this one may cash flow, but it's going to be tight. It won't cash flow well. So this is 5 units, and let's say each unit rents for $1,000. It's bringing in $5,000 per month, right? They're looking for 850,000. You're getting probably a 7% interest rate. Your down payment is 170K, and this is your monthly payment. Following so far?
Yeah.
You have $1,200 in property taxes, $283 in home insurance. $1,200 plus 283 plus our 4,524. This is your monthly payment. Now let's do a role play. You're going to be the seller who didn't want to sell or finance. And let's not say it's you want 50% down. Let's say it's worse than that. You don't even want to sell or finance. You're completely opposed to the idea. Have you ever ran into anybody like this?
No, this guy came at me with the seller finance idea, even though I came to him with cash DSCR because his property did cash flow. So
say, hey,
but let's do it.
What you're going to say to him is, hey, I could put 20% down with the bank. Why would I put 50% down with you? I will sell or finance with you, but I probably need to put down less than I'll put down with the bank if it's going to make sense. But hey, this is a perfect example right here. So you're going to be the realtor. You do not want to sell or finance. You are not open to seller finance. We are not calling for you to say yes to my seller finance offer. Okay. You're here to say no to it and that your guy does not want it. Okay. But essentially in the call, I'm going to trap you to the point where there's nothing else you can say. Don't worry. I'll be nice.
All right. Got it. Let's go.
What do I call you? I call you Ian. Okay.
Ian. Yeah.
Hey, is this Ian?
Yes, sir, it is.
Hey, Ian, I'm really interested in buying Burr Street in Houston. I own a couple around the state and I wanted to pick up another. Is it still available?
It is.
Great. You guys are bringing in $5,000 per month right now?
Around 5K, yes.
Got it. Now, I tried to get approved at 850. I sent this to my lender already to see if I could get pre-approved before I gave you a call. They declined me at 850 due to a cash flow thing. Is 850 the best price you guys can take on this?
Might have a little room. What are you thinking?
I mean, where do you think your seller could be? I mean, if I were to float I'll be honest with you, man. If I buy it at 850, my payment's $6,000 and you guys are renting out for $5,000. I would need my payment to be $3,000. Doesn't that make sense? Like if you're renting out for $5,000, I probably need my payments to be $3,000 because I'm putting down like over 100,000, like 6 figures down on this thing. So I probably need $3,000 monthly payments. And I will be very transparent with you. If I'm going to bring my monthly payment from $6,000 to $3,000, it's an offensive offer. It's hundreds of thousands below your asking price. It's probably not something your client would take, would it?
No, I don't think so.
So I guess my issue is this. I'd love to buy it at 850. I don't know how. How would I go about buying this at the asking price?
You could probably get yourself a predatory loan.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. because the name of the loan that buyers use to buy this is DSCR, which stands for debt coverage loan, debt coverage, mortgage coverage. If your mortgage is covered, they grant you the loan. I'm thinking that the reason this has been on market for 253 days, despite being in a great area with 100% occupancy, is that the monthly payment is in excess of what the property brings in per month, you know?
Yeah.
So I'd love to buy it at the 850, but we don't really have a way to get qualified, and neither does anybody else. I would probably see if I could get you closer to $1 million with an interest rate added onto this. So maybe 850, 5% interest for 6 years. That'll turn into $1 million. Let's see if I can try that right now. If I do 850, if I give you $100,000 down payment and a 5% interest rate, 5% is a little steep. Maybe we try 4% amortized over 40 years. So if I do that in a 6-year period of time, you're getting $1 million 24. If we did 850, 100K down, 4% interest for 6 years, your client walks away with 7 figures. So not so much because I want to, but because I don't really have another option here. So I wonder if we could present that to your client, but rather than starting with, hey, let's do seller finance, what if we started with, hey, this buyer wants to buy it at the asking price. There's just no lender that will qualify him.
I see. That makes sense.
So whenever they tell me I don't want to seller finance, I say, neither do I. I think seller finance is a bad idea. Let's do the 850. I just need somebody who could qualify me. And sometimes they understand, sometimes they don't understand.
Yeah, that makes sense. When you tell them, like you just said, that's a bad idea, what's like your reasoning for that? Or do you not really mean that?
What's a bad idea?
When you're on the phone with them and you're like, yeah, I don't want to do it either. I think it's a bad idea. Like, do you really mean that? Or like,
I disarm them by agreeing. They say, my client doesn't want to do seller finance. I'm like, dude, I really don't want to do that either. I don't want to have to, do this deal with your client. I'd much rather do it with the bank. It's more reliable. But do I actually believe that? No. I'm simply agreeing with them to kind of disarm them, because their first objection is, I've gone to my client before. They don't want to do seller finance. So I agree with them. And I'm like, I don't really want to do it either. And they're like, huh? Why'd you present it? And I'm like, well, you understand, I'd like to buy it at your asking price. It's just like not possible. And and then they might say this, their realistic answer is, well, why don't you put more down? Why don't you put more down? And I agree with that too. I say, absolutely. Why don't we put more down? My lender has me put down 160. No, let's put down 250. Let's put down $250,000. Now I'm 30% down. Does that change the equation very much? Well, let's see. I have $4,000 in monthly payments, and I still have my taxes and insurance at $1,500. $4,000 plus $1,500. I'm paying $6,500. Or I'm sorry. I've messed up my math here somewhere. I've got a $3,991 payment. I've somehow messed up my math, but essentially what I mean to say is that no, I haven't messed up my math, actually. It doesn't really change the payment very much. It's only $500 less. And the way that we're going to underwrite this is $5,000 coming in, we take 20% off the top. So I'm still underwater. Even if I come up to 30% down, I'm still underwater on the deal after factoring management and any sort of vacancy that I might run into in the future. And then they might also hit us with this other objection. Well, why don't you buy this thing in cash? And I'm like, I buy things in cash if it goes further than the stock market, because I could put my 850 in the stock market and I could get 10, 12% all day long. So if this thing gives me more than 10 or 12% return after all expenses, I'll buy it in cash. And then I run through it with them. $5,000 coming in, 20% comes off the top. Taxes and insurance are $1,450. This is how much I make, no mortgage. Multiply that by 12. I'm making this without a mortgage. Now divide that by my total cost of entry, which is going to be $860,000 with closing costs. It's a 3% return. Inflation is at 3.5% right now, maybe 4%. So this gives you zero return, no return on investment to buy this in cash. Your money breaks even every single year. You're not hedging against inflation if you buy this thing in cash. If I put my money in the stock market, it would quite literally go 3 to 4 times further than this.
Yeah, I see.
So those are the objections I frequently get hit with. I call them and I say, I want to do it at your asking price. As you know, in the beginning of the call, I could see that you were already familiar with the pitch. And there's really only 2 objections they could hit me with. Put more down. So I'm like, okay, sure, let's put more down. I agree. Let's put more down. And then I show them, that barely moves the needle to put down 30% instead of 20%. And then I say, okay, well, let's look at it buying it in cash, because they're going to say, well, why don't you buy this thing in cash then? and I say, I will buy it in cash. I just have to see if it brings in more than the stock market. Because why would I put this in real estate, which is infinitely more risky? My stocks can't burn down. My real estate can burn down. If I'm getting 1/3, 1/4 of the return that I could get from the stock market. So we just have to have those objections quick. But when your guy said, let's do 50% down, I'd say, hey, I approached you with the cash offer first. I'm getting a loan for that cash offer. Obviously, that is kind of contradictory, but I'm getting a loan. That loan is 20% down. I will seller finance with you, but I could put down way less with the bank. So if I'm going to do that deal with you at your asking price, 10% down. And then he's like, no, I need 50%. And I'm like, okay, well, now I'm back to my cash offer because I could put 20% down there.
Yeah. I feel that, bro. I appreciate you. Thank you, man.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you. What if they say, then maybe you're not the right buyer? I say, absolutely. I totally agree. Who would be the right buyer? Oh, look at that. Look at that nice little check. Yusuf, how far does that go? So,
easy.
What is so? I'm curious. How does this compare to income you might see in your home country?
2 years income, 2.5 years income, maybe.
Impossible. You're saying you make $3,000 a year in Egypt? No way.
No, much lower, much lower.
No.
I'm like as a physical, yeah.
No way. You're saying. Hold up. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. We got to, because maybe there's a communication error here. Let me ask ChatGPT.
Yeah.
In US dollars, what might the average Egyptian citizen make per year?
The average annual salary in Egypt is about $5,065 US, based on figures from 2024 to 2025. Of course, there's a lot of variation.
Are you serious? That's insane. That you just won the lottery, bro. No way. That's crazy. He just got a 30. So guys, that whole deal must have been closer to $7,000 if he kept 3,300. Dude, you weren't lying. Dude, it says the average Egyptian makes $5,000 a year.
Oh my God. And that's a lie. I'm still on my point. That's a lie.
Okay, that's not true. That's not true. So what does the average Egyptian make per year in US dollars?
In US dollars, as a physical therapist?
No, average.
Maybe
average, like your normal
average.
person. And no, not in US dollars, in your currency. So what is the Egyptian currency called? What's your currency called? I have no idea.
Egyptian pound.
Egyptian pound. How many Egyptian pounds per year do you think y'all would make, like average?
60,000.
60,000 Egyptian pounds. And what is that in US dollars?
1,200.
You're telling me that Egyptians make $1,200 a year?
Yeah. The doctors. If you're working at a hospital as a doctor in a governmental hospital, yeah, you will make 5,000 per month. I swear to God.
5,000 Egyptian pounds per month.
5,000 Egyptian pound, yeah. If you are working as a doctor in a governmental hospital, yeah.
Dude, my heart is beating out of my chest. Dude, are you making like celebrity money over there?
Yeah.
And you have another like 20K in closing right now?
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I really don't know what's going on with Wholesale, but yeah, hopefully it goes well.
I didn't realize. I had no idea how far that money went. I literally had no idea how far that money went. I don't know what to say. You just made more money than the average person in your city makes in a year, and he's got multiple more in closing. That's absolutely ridiculous. Like absolutely absurd. That's further than the Philippines, guys. That's less. The average person in the Philippines, which I'm familiar with because I go there all the time, they make significantly more than that. But to make $1,200 per year and then to just randomly get 3,300 is the most absurd thing I've ever heard. I can't believe it. So you're a big baller now. Let me ask you this: how much might a car cost in Egypt? Like just any car?
Around the million is like the bad cars, if I'm not, because I'm not familiar with cars that much, but million, like maybe 1.2 million, something like that. So I'm close. I'm close.
Well, I guess the cars are proportionally more expensive because you're saying that you're saying people make $60,000 a year, 60,000 pounds per year, but a car costs $1 million?
Yeah, our economics is destroyed here, Richard. I don't know if you're familiar with Egypt, but yeah, it's just so bad here.
Wow. Okay, so I guess guys, it's just the car is not equivalent to yearly income. So you're saying most people just never ever get cars in their entire life.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The public transportation, we usually use it. Yeah.
Okay. So public transportation. Here's another comparison. What might rent be in Egyptian pounds per month?
I'm renting right now for 12,000.
Okay. So you rent for 12,000 Egyptian pounds, and what is the conversion there? Let's ask ChatGPT. What is 12,000 Egyptian pounds to dollars?
12,000 Egyptian pounds is approximately $256 based on the current exchange rate.
What is 3,300 divided by 250? Guys, this would be like receiving over a year's worth of rent. This would be 13, 14 months of rent up front. That's insane, dude. So this is just your career for life then?
Yeah, hopefully, because I have to finish like the physical therapies. I'm still a student as a physical therapy, and I really don't know if it didn't make, most likely will not make the same money as a wholesaler. But yeah, I really love wholesaling. I will be honest.
Dude, I don't even know what to say, man. I had no idea how far our currency went over there. I had no idea. I would have never in a million years guessed that an average person might only make a couple $1,000s per year. That's insane.
Yeah, if you make 1,000 per month in Egypt, you will live like a king.
So you've already done like 2 deals before this, right?
No, four. Four. Yeah.
Y'all, that is ridiculous. That is, how long have you been doing this, man? How long have you been doing this?
Well, like maybe since September, I would say September 2025.
That's 5 months. That's almost less than 6 months, guys. Less than 6 months.
Yeah. I'm close to 1 mil, hopefully. After finishing 2026 or something, or maybe at September 2026. This is my goal right now.
What's the biggest one you have in closing right now?
Well, I don't know. Farron for 18,000.
Farron, yeah, he says I'll get back, but I will buy that. I will 100% buy that deal, man. If we don't, so that Farron will close. We don't know how much it'll close for yet. We might have somebody for $18,000, but I'll let you know on that. That's just ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous. Think about, guys. Imagine if he makes $10,000. Imagine if he gets a 10K check. How far that would go? That's years of rent. That's years and years and years of rent in Egypt if he gets 10K. It's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely insane. Anyways, okay. Sorry, man. I had to ask because I just had no idea it was like that.
Yeah, sure.
Is it possible?
I will move to Philippines I will move to Philippines. I thought like we have the same currency as the Philippines, but looks like they are much better right now.
I mean, I don't think it's much better, but it is a little bit better. I like, for example, my virtual assistants, like the lowest paid virtual assistant I have is probably making maybe like $5.50 an hour for my lowest paid virtual assistant. And they probably work 7 hours a day. So $38 a day multiplied by Say they work 28 days out of the month. So my lowest paid virtual assistant probably makes about $1,100 a month.
Okay, can I work? That's big different. That's big different than
You're
Egypt. Like
making
if you
more
made
than
1,000 in Egypt, that's much better.
but their hours are brutal, man. Their hours are brutal. They got to work in the middle of the night too. It's just rough. But dude, that's just absolutely insane. Good job, man. That you're paving a path that few before you have. You are probably within like 10 people in Egypt to have ever done a creative finance wholesale deal.
Yep, hopefully we can get it done. That would be my second creative deal, the one in Ferrin. I already closed one. So yeah, but that would be my biggest one.
Well, absolutely insane. Thanks so much for sharing that with us, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
See ya.
It's a pleasure.
Wow.
Bye-bye.
What an insane trajectory with another 20,000 plus in closing right now, potentially even more. Unbelievable, guys. This means if we get Farron, it's going to be insane. He just texted me actually. He says, what's due diligence? I'm submitting EMD on it so it doesn't expire. But I probably have 5 days left on this now. However, past that 5-day mark, you can still inspect. We just don't get EMD back. But it's fine because I'm buying it regardless. I would say it would be best if you could inspect within a week. However, you won't need to because we are paying somebody to give us a comprehensive inspection, and I'll share it with you. All right. Unbelievable. Well, that's the clip. We got to tell Andrew that's the clip. Hey guys, crazy clip just now. One of our students just got paid out $3,300. I think the total deal was probably maybe like $6,000 or something like that if he kept $3,300. But he's in Egypt and he's been doing this since September, and he's closed 4 deals previously, and he has another 3 or 4 in closing right now. So he is the crazy part about this is how far our money goes in Egypt. He actually broke it down for us. So it was insane. Clip around maybe like 4:50 p.m. or so. All right. I will keep you posted, Yusuf. That is insane. That is absolutely insane. Let's do a little giveaway, guys. Let's give away some money now. So I try to do giveaways each day. Joseph said, wait. Okay, guys, if you need any help, please go to #support. If there's anything else you need help with, please go to #support. How do I feel about paying 9% income tax in or 10% income tax in Portland? Well, my company is located in Wyoming. I'm a W-2 of my company, and my company doesn't pay me as much as it makes. My company only pays me $16K a month, so on paper, I don't make too much money. My company does well, but my personal income that is taxed in Oregon is not nearly as much as my company would make. So it's only $16,000 a month or so. Anyways, let's spin the wheel. Wow, that was just unfathomable, guys. That's the best thing that's happened today. That's 100% the best thing that's happened today. Knowing how far that money goes is just ridiculous. Oh, and it's the burner phone. It's the burner phone. So we're giving away a preloaded cell phone here. It's going to be a smartphone. Why do I have a burner phone on my giveaway wheel? I initially thought it was kind of funny to give away burners to people, but there's another purpose. You can film yourself making calls, and you can set it to the area code that you do your calls in. So need a Midwest area code? Great. Set it to Ohio, set it to Detroit, I'm just going to send you a preloaded it'll be a smartphone. You can do Google with it and take pictures and stuff, but it's like a preloaded Android burner phone. It's not going to be a flip phone. It'll be a real phone. So we're giving away a phone right now. It's not a nice phone. It's not an iPhone or anything like that. Although we do give away iPhones from time to time. I've been doing real estate questions recently, so people don't cheat. Here's a good one. Here's a really easy question that you guys should know the answer to, okay? Ready? Is it best to pitch seller finance on cash flowing properties or those that don't cash flow? Oh, well, look at Gonzo Holdings. Gonzo says no. He says no. We'll accept no. Gonzo, we'll take no. I'll take no for an answer. That works.
Yo, that worked. Let's go.
I'll say no. It's enough details. It's enough details. And I know somebody's about to tell me that they said it before Gonzo, but they're flagging him so you can see that this is the one who won. But yeah, so dude, I'll tell you what, send me name, address, phone number to ship this to, and we'll Amazon it to you.
Okay, cool. One thing though, I've already won a burner phone from you.
Oh, well, I could also send you cash. I'll send you $50 cash if you want.
I'm so down for that.
Okay, $50 cash it is. That's how much the burner phone is, guys. And if you don't believe me, I'll drop it in the chat.
Yes, thank you very much, though.
He's already won a burner phone. Well, there you go. What area code did you load onto it?
I have it in, I believe, California.
Everybody's saying that Ian won, but guys, look at the flags. Everybody look at the flags. You can see right here. Check it out. See, I'm not cheating. This is just what's showing. It's just what's showing. Anyways, let me go ahead and get your info. Oh, I see it. We've already sent you money before. How much money have we sent you?
I got $20 twice.
Hell yeah.
It's be total of $90. So 4.5 months to hold my hand wholesale.
Look at that, man. Hopefully you're not paying for this.
Yeah, indeed.
Oh, I know you. You changed your profile picture though.
Oh yeah.
I was like, wait a second. I know who you are.
Yeah, I had to switch my my Discord because I got logged out.
And sent $50 cash sent to you just now.
Awesome.
You get that?
Thank you, man. Yes, sir.
Perfect. All right. Guys, I'm negotiable on the giveaways. All right, guys, that's going to be my stream for today. We probably did I started it's about 2.5 hours, a little bit. We started late today, about 2.5 hours or so. Anyways, I will be live again tomorrow, and we can look at more of your deals if you want less help. Look at this question here. I need help explaining the TAA to the seller. Is there something I can copy and paste? Do you guys know what resource he should use? Wait, look at this. I need help explaining the TAA to the seller. You should talk to our in-house closer, Garrett. There's literally a tab here called Garrett Closes Your Deal. You can submit your TAA, Trust Acquisition Agreement, to Garrett. He will hop on the phone with your agent and close the deal for you. He just wants a part of the assignment fee. No, he doesn't charge. He just wants a part of the assignment fee. There's no fee to hop on the phone with Garrett. He just wants to be part of the deal. Come to the hangout. Adam, why don't you come up here? Adam, come here. No need to have him relocate. You just talk to him here.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Absolutely. I'm gonna head out, guys. But if you have more questions, chances are Adam can probably answer those questions for you. So can Moises.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yo, Richard, you buying any rentals? I got a 32% cash on cash in St. Louis. Not sure.
I'm already lined up for 2 purchases right now, so probably.
All right. I'll shop it to your buyers. All right, cool.
Perfect. Talk soon, man. Bye-bye. All right, they're doing Q&As in there if you want to ask any more questions. That's going to be my stream for today. YouTube, I'll catch you later. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. Appreciate it. And then TikTok.